In the middle of a wild and dangerous valley, filled with gloomy houses hanging on cliffs, the atmosphere here is terrifyingly eerie. Suddenly from far away, deep in the caves, an evil voice suddenly rang out. "Hey, could you please leave me alone?" The young man's angry shout startled the girl, causing her to jump, but she didn't stop. She dipped her hand back into the bowl of strange, viscous mixture, letting out an excited cry of awe. The girl, with vacant eyes, repeatedly licked her fingers, her smeared face expressing a longing for candy. At this point, the young man was furious. Without hesitation, he shoved her hard, sending the girl sprawling to the ground with a cry of "Oh." A thud followed. The girl quickly attracted the scornful gazes of the slovenly men sitting nearby. Seeing this, the young man sighed in frustration. "Tsk, this is a drug, not candy, forget it." She wouldn't understand anyway, and he was none other than Li Huowang, a young man hiding among the drug paraphernalia at Qingfengguan. Immediately, contrary to his expectations, she reacted strangely, excitedly murmuring, "Ah, I love it, oh my god." Huowang felt disheartened. He thought to himself, this demonic place is full of idiots, cripples, and freaks. It's a museum of oddities. Why am I here, hanging out with these people? Suddenly, a loud noise of unknown origin startled Huowang, causing him to quickly turn around. A bandit, appearing from nowhere, began to harass the girl with disgusting remarks. "I just want to try a little," he said. "I promise, just a little bit," he added, chuckling maniacally. At this, the young woman burst into tears of distress. "No, no." Seeing this, the vile men nearby immediately rushed over, surrounding her. They let out a strange, unsettling laughter. He 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 he. The eerie laughter filled the air, mixed with the girl's sobs. "Wah, no." Huowang felt a chill run down his spine. His face darkened. He thought to himself, "It's all fake, it's an illusion. It's all fake." He continued to forcefully pound the pestle in the mortar. But in an instant, a loud thwack echoed. Huowang, appearing from nowhere, had struck the ruffian hard on the head. The man fell to the ground, blood splattering. Without hesitation, Huowang silently affirmed, "Fake my ass." In a moment, the villain's vision went black. He sat huddled on the ground in pain, moaning, "Ugh, ugh." Then, overcome with rage, he yelled, "You're finished. Do you know what I am to my master? If he finds out, he'll deal with you." But Huowang responded defiantly, "Who is he? He's nothing." At this, the villain was speechless. His eyes widened in shock. He stammered, You dare insult my master." Before he could say more, the caw of a crow broke the silence, instantly attracting the attention of everyone nearby. The wind died down. From the distance, a calm young man approached, asking, "Finished fighting yet?" Xianyang appeared with an air of composure. He calmly said, "Li Shidi, Wang Junior Disciple, Master is calling you." At this, Wang Junior Disciple exclaimed with delight, "Wow." The ruffian, also excited, laughed triumphantly, "Haha, you're done for, today's your last day." Hearing this, Huowang glared at him defiantly. Suddenly, a long, slender hand grabbed his robe from afar. Bai Lingmiao appeared with a delicate face, pleading, "Don't go, please don't go." Huowang was startled and turned around. But he quickly and unceremoniously pushed her hand away. At the same time, the dirty girl excitedly repeated, "Candy, candy." Huowang ignored them all and continued walking with a cold expression. Watching him go, Bai Lingmiao looked heartbroken. A moment later, the three of them quickly left the cave. Remembering what had just happened, Huowang hesitated, rubbing his eyes. He thought, "What was that? Why was I so angry?" Then he firmly decided, "I can't let this affect my character. I'm not usually this outwardly angry." Before Huowang could think further, Wang Junior Disciple unexpectedly punched him hard from behind. At this point, Huowang was resigned. He sighed in frustration, "That wasn't me, calm down, calm down." Seeing this, Wang Junior Disciple pressed her advantage, persistently punching Huowang's thin back. Huowang, unable to bear it any longer, grabbed Wang Junior Disciple's hand and angrily yelled, "What do you want?" She was startled and cried out, "Ah." Without hesitation, Wang Junior Disciple quickly pulled out a small black bag containing a disgusting, viscous substance. Excitedly, she offered it to Huowang, "Eat this gooey candy." Seeing this, he stood stunned in silence. After regaining his composure, Huowang silently took the black, viscous substance. At this sight, Wang Jr. disciple laughed gleefully like a child. Master is so good, following master means candy. Suddenly, a red aura of killing intent filled the air. Wang silently walked on the hazy, eerie path. He suddenly stopped, staring intently at the bizarre scene before him. A giant alchemy furnace was constantly boiling over a raging fire that was emitting billowing smoke. A while later, after traveling for a long distance, Wang and Wang Jr. disciple finally stopped at the end of a cave alley. There, Wang Jr. disciple respectfully bowed her head and quickly said, "Master, Master." Hearing this, the strange old man in front of her immediately responded and pressed, "You're here, good apprentice." Then, he immediately twisted around, revealing a hideous, pockmarked face and said menacingly, "You kept me waiting too long." As soon as he finished speaking, without hesitation, he powerfully leaped into the air. Very quickly, the strange old man easily landed behind Wang Jr. disciple. In an instant, the scene before him caused Wang to be astonished, his mouth agape in shock, and he stood rooted to the spot. In a heartbeat, the strange old man grabbed her neck. Wang Jr. disciple let out a cry. Immediately, with a flick of his hand, he easily flung Wang Jr. disciple into a giant mortar. Then, he was momentarily delighted and excited, chuckling, "Ha." Without hesitation, the strange old man suddenly jumped onto the top of the mortar, triumphantly chanting, "Ding Cho grants me longevity, Ding Hai protects my soul, Jia Zi protects my body." However, Wang Jr. disciple was not yet fully aware of the problem. She was still dazed, happily wriggling in the thick mixture, wondering, "Is this melted candy?" Then, she was momentarily delighted, repeatedly nodding, "Master, this is great." At the same time, the chanting continued, "Jia Wu protects against evil spirits. Jia Shen protects my life, Jia Wu guards my soul, Jia Chen protects my spirit." As soon as he finished speaking, without hesitation, the cunning old man grabbed the mortar and brutally crushed the young woman's body, her flesh and blood splattering everywhere. Immediately, he cruelly ordered, "Fire the alchemy furnace." In an instant, the flames blazed fiercely before Wang. Seeing this, he was astonished, his eyes wide, standing dumbfounded, speechless. Thus, the fire quickly boiled the strange, thick mixture. The servants quickly worked together to pour the liquid into the furnace. Immediately, a steaming red stream was poured into the furnace. At this sight, Wang was momentarily terrified, thinking to himself, "It's fake." He firmly believed that the smell was fake, and the pockmarked man was fake as well. But before he could think too long, the pockmarked old man suddenly spoke menacingly, "I heard you called me nothing." Then, with a stern face and a harsh voice, he turned around and pressed, "Is that true?" Faced with this, Wang didn't bother to answer. He kept his head down and silently thought, "Even this voice is fake." Seeing this, the pockmarked old man became furious. He immediately rushed forward and shouted, "Speak, are you mute?" But once again, Wang stubbornly thought it was fake. He frowned and firmly thought, "Fake is fake." In a split second, the old man with scabby hair for some unknown reason suddenly shone brightly, blending into the void, causing Wang to look on in surprise, quickly shouting out a word, "Is fake." Immediately, he involuntarily frowned uncomfortably. Wang suddenly woke up, his eyes wide open, looking in shock at the familiar surroundings. He breathed a sigh of relief, thinking about the dream he just had, a terrifying and unforgettable experience. Then, the familiar beeping of the machines helped him regain his composure. Wang lay still in his hospital bed, ignoring the constant beeping of the machines, reassuring himself, it was all fake. 3 minutes later, the scene shifted to outside the tall building. There, a familiar conversation echoed, "Xiao Li, how did the hallucination feel this time? Anything new? It's still the windy scene, I still did the same things as before." Only Wang lay silently in his hospital bed, unable to speak. Seeing this, Dr. Li proactively asked, "What's wrong?" At this, Wang answered hesitantly, "Have I told you about Wang Jr. disciple yet?" This time, the pockmarked master was very cruel. "He crushed her right in front of me and used her to make pills," he said, gesturing fearfully. Hearing this, Dr. Li quickly made a note and murmured, Wang couldn't hide his curiosity and asked, "Dr. Li, can you tell me what these unpredictable hallucinations represent? What do they mean in terms of my inner mind and psychology?" Without hesitation, Dr. Li stood up and brushed himself off. "No, you don't need to worry about that. He sternly warned, you should pay attention to the duration of each hallucination and your mental stability. Huo Wang was stunned speechless. Once again, Dr. Li solemnly emphasized, because you've recovered from the hallucination cognitive syndrome, you must remember that those things are all fake, absolutely don't get involved again. Faced with these words, Huo Wang remained silent and motionless. Seeing this, Dr. Li suddenly remembered something and stopped, adding, right, whenever you have a hallucination, remember to act according to the logic of that world. Only then can you be discharged early. As soon as he finished speaking, a beautiful black-haired girl appeared behind the door. Seeing him, she smiled brightly and said, "Hee, did you hear that?" Recognizing the overly familiar voice, Huo Wang suddenly came to his senses and quickly turned his head to look back. His little friend, Yang Na, immediately appeared with a confident look. She smiled brightly and must obediently listen to the doctor. Seeing her appearance, he couldn't help but widen his eyes and choke out, "Nana." Yang Na, seizing the opportunity, gently sat down beside him. Then, she seemed to remember something as she looked at Huo Wang's face. He was excitedly displaying a goofy grin, chuckling loudly. Seeing this, Yang Na couldn't help but pout and tease, "That ugly laugh, you're killing me." Then, softening her voice, she scolded gently, "Stop laughing, look what I brought you." She calmly rummaged through her bag, pulling out something she had prepared especially for him. In a flash, Yang Na pulled out a purple book and cheerfully announced, "Here you go, review materials prepared personally by the teachers." Seeing this, Huo Wang was startled and exclaimed, "Huh," he added dejectedly, "Nana, we've been friends since childhood, are you getting revenge on me?" To this, Yang Na didn't hesitate to smack the book on his head and retorted, "Humph, of course not." This caused Huo Wang to yelp in pain. Then, Yang Na suddenly became serious and continued, and immediately, she excitedly pulled out a game console and thrust it in front of Huo Wang. "Here." Seeing it, Huo Wang immediately pounced on it like a child. This made Yang Na excited. She chuckled, "Call me sister, and I'll give it to you." Without hesitation, Huo Wang leaned in close and whispered, "Sister." He quickly snatched the game console. Huo Wang laughed excitedly, "You really are my sister." Then, leaning back with delight, he exclaimed, "You don't know how boring it is in a mental hospital all day. I'd go crazy from boredom even if I weren't crazy." He continued playing the game. Yang Na sighed helplessly, "Play less, remember your homework." She sternly reminded him, "Don't forget what you promised me." Huo Wang's eyes widened in surprise as he remembered. He quickly put down the game console and firmly replied, "I remember. We promised to take the college entrance exam together." Huo Wang moved closer and closer to Yang Na. Then, unexpectedly, he emotionally embraced her. Huo Wang choked back a sob and emphasized, "I'll definitely get better, Nana." Hearing this, Yang Na couldn't help but cry, "Get well soon, I'll wait for you." As soon as she finished speaking, a bright vision of a rosy future appeared in his mind. Huo Wang slowly got out of bed and walked down. "It's late, let me walk you to the hospital gate, okay?" But as he slipped his feet into his slippers, everything around him changed. His whole body froze, his eyes widened in disbelief. Huo Wang struggled to stand, staggering towards the door, his right hand gripping the table to keep from falling. Suddenly, his gaze fell upon the medicine pestle he had seen in his dream. The medicine pestle. He panicked and clutched his head. Yang Na anxiously called out, "Something's wrong, what's happening? Huo Wang, are you alright? I've been following the doctor's instructions, why is this happening?" Hearing her voice, he slowly lowered his hands. Despite being terrified, Huo Wang tried to act cheerful and tease Yang Na, "I scared you, didn't I?" Yang Na thought he was joking and turned away in annoyance. "You're still playing around, are you a kid?" She turned and walked away angrily, ignoring Huo Wang's attempts to reach out. Now, the medicine pestle was more important. He glanced at the table, "Did I see wrong?" But Huo Wang quickly reassured himself and ran after her. "Yang Na, Nana, wait for me." As he left, the scene changed again. Huo Wang chased her out of the hospital gate, shouting, "Nana, don't be angry." No matter what he said, Yang Na kept walking. He could only call out, "I just wanted to make you happy." Suddenly, all the patients around him looked at him and laughed eerily. Huo Wang was only worried about Yang Na's anger and didn't pay attention to his surroundings. "Nana, don't be angry anymore. He anxiously peeked behind her, thinking, does she really not want to talk to me anymore? Suddenly, Yang Na turned around, poked his cheek, and smiled. She looked at him gently and instructed, I'll visit you next week, be a good boy and stay here. Li Huowang happily replied, okay. And so, Yang Na quickly walked out of the hospital, waving goodbye. After seeing her off, he slowly walked back to his room, lost in thought. He had really seen the medicine pestle in his room just now. The corridor was empty, only Li Huowang walking heavily in the middle. Vague thoughts flooded his mind. Could my illness be getting worse? If it gets worse, I can't be discharged before the college entrance exam, then I can't take the exam with Yang Na. But Dr. Li is surely fine, he's the best doctor my father could find. Overwhelmed with frustration, he raised his hand and shouted, ah, this is so frustrating, go away. Suddenly Li Huowang realized that something strange had just happened. He glanced down at his bulging pocket in surprise. Wait, there was something in his pocket. His eyes widened in disbelief. Yet, the thing he was holding was a sticky pile of candy from the Wang junior disciple. No way, this is the gooey candy that stupid junior disciple gave me. Without hesitation, he poked his finger into the candy and tasted it. Why did something from the illusion appear in reality? It actually tasted sweet. Certain he wasn't hallucinating, Li Huowang immediately ran to find a doctor. I have to tell the doctor right away. But as he ran, he suddenly stopped. Wait, if this is real, then the illusion contained not only gooey candy, but also. Li Huowang's eyes widened brightly, a strange and uncanny smile spreading across his lips. The scene returned to what Li Huowang called his illusion. On the table was a pestle and mortar, and small bowls of medicine. Li Huowang's voice boomed, do any of you have money? He stood before a crowd, arms outstretched, asking, don't you understand, money, gold, silver, jewelry, anything, it's useless here anyway, lend it to me temporarily. The raggedly clothed people scratched their heads, seemingly not understanding him. Seeing this, Li Huowang sighed, closing his eyes, tsk, forget it, these medicine-leading people have no money. Suddenly, a voice behind him made him open his eyes wide, Li Shixiang. It turned out to be Bai Lingmiao, tugging at his sleeve, could you come here for a moment? Li Huowang agreed and followed her to a secluded corner. Bai Lingmiao slowly took off the gold anklet. She offered it to him, could this help you, Li Shixiang? Seeing this, Li Huowang knelt before her and took it. He held the bracelet up to his eyes, examining it carefully. He even squeezed it. A little small, but it seems quite heavy, let's squeeze it again, it's gold after all. After confirming it once more, Li Huowang tucked it into his clothes and nodded, this isn't bad, lend me this gold bracelet for a bit, I'll return it later. Actually, from the moment Bai Lingmiao pulled him away, the others had secretly followed, hiding behind a tree to watch them. Here, have some of this gooey candy, it's very sweet, thank you, Li Shixiang. They probably thought they were doing something dirty and scoffed, tsk, I thought there would be something interesting, how boring. Just as they were happily laughing, a cold voice came from behind, what are you all gathering around for? It was the apprentice of the Mad Master. A single glance from him was enough to frighten everyone. Hurry up and work. Immediately, the crowd dispersed, not daring to delay. Inner sect disciple, go, quickly. Suddenly, he called out to Li Huowang, oh, Li Shitty. He smiled sarcastically, you weren't chosen to be a medicine-leading person last time, what a pity. Knowing his enemy, Li Huowang didn't respond, silently observing the man, who seemed to be Xianyang. After making sure everything was all right, Xianyang turned and left. Before leaving, he warned everyone, all of you, work properly, the master's medicine isn't ready yet, be careful or I'll skin you alive. None of his words reached Li Huowang's ears, as he was now focused on the jade pendant on Xuanyang's hip. He looked at it curiously, could that jade pendant be an antique? Then, Li Huowang smirked, beautiful jade pendant, but it'll be mine soon. Waiting until the time of the hour of the ox, around the third watch of the night, Li Huowang's figure appeared outside Xuanyang's cave. It turned out he really dared to steal Xuanyang's jade pendant. Luckily, he wasn't discovered. Unexpectedly, it went so smoothly, Xianyang wasn't in his cave tonight. Li Huowang held the jade pendant, overjoyed, if I sell this, it'll be enough to cover my and Nana's college expenses. He went down, singing happily, hee hee, jade pendant, my jade pendant. But quickly, Li Huowang stopped on a lit staircase. He was astonished. Should I continue? Is there someone ahead? However, the scariest thing was, at that moment, Xuanyang's cold voice came from behind Li Huowang. Li Shitty, why are you here at this hour? Li Huowang startled, quickly turning his head and retreating. You, Xianyang Shixiang. Even more astonishing was that he was wearing the clothes of the medicine-leading people. Why are you wearing their clothes? Xianyang didn't answer, just clicked his tongue. TSK, it seems your luck isn't bad. He grabbed Li Huowang's clothes and hurried towards the people ahead. Come on, let's leave this damned place. Shixiang guarding the gate has cleared the way. He asked in astonishment, leave, you want to escape? As soon as he finished speaking, a powerful force pressed him against the wall. Ugh. Xianyang pushed him and yelled furiously, looking as if he wanted to devour Li Huowang alive. If you don't come with us, die here, we absolutely won't let you report this to that old geezer. Li Huowang wasn't worried, knowing he wasn't part of this illusion. This development is really annoying, but I can return to the hospital anytime. What can a bunch of NPCs in an illusion do to me? He closed his eyes, trying to escape the illusion. Sure enough, when Li Huowang opened his eyes, he was in a hospital bed. He was wearing the restrictive clothing of a mental patient and was tied to the bed. He was back, and sure enough, he was still tied up. Li Huowang wanted to see if he could bring back the gold bracelet and jade pendant, but his whole body was unable to move. He could only sigh helplessly. At this hour, the nurses and other medical staff were probably fast asleep. He could not confirm whether he could bring back the jade pendant and gold bracelet. In that case, he could only wait a little longer and then return to see what the situation was on the other side. After he closed his eyes, the scene changed strangely. In the illusion, a stream of fiery red energy suddenly entered Li Huowang's eyes. A moment later, he woke up completely. He looked around, bewildered, and saw no one. They're gone. Li Huowang smiled wryly and exclaimed, my own hallucination, and yet it could harm me. The next morning, as the sun gradually rose above the mountain peak, a panicked young apprentice ran inside, shouting, wake up, don't sleep anymore. Master says everyone needs to assemble at Huiyan Hall. Those who were sleeping quickly sat up, urging those around them. Only Li Huowang lay there calmly. What happened? I don't know. Hurry up, there'll be trouble if we're late. His eyes gazed vaguely into nothingness. A moment later, all the disciples were present at Kiel Ching Feng, Huiyan Hall. Their master, with a hideous, scabby forehead, called down, is everyone here? Li Huowang stood among the crowd, pondering, what is this old man planning to do again? He slowly descended, a long rope trailing behind him. Last night, around midnight, someone tried to escape. Among them were two of my most cherished disciples. It turned out that the Xianyang group hadn't escaped successfully but had been caught by this mad old man. They were bound and dragged behind him. I am deeply saddened, the master said. Li Huowang stood still as he watched the old master drag the four people. The rule of our Shishan Donghua sect is that meritorious deeds will be rewarded and sinful deeds will be punished, so. Xianyang, as he was dragged past him, cried out for help, Yu. But Li Huowang merely glanced at him, caught already, how incompetent. With a sweep of the master's hand, all four people flew into the air. Then he raised his hand to his mouth and chanted an incantation. Immediately, a large hole opened up, swallowing all four people. Yu. Li Huowang watched this scene, constantly reassuring himself, hallucination, it's all a hallucination. Li Huowang, everything in this hallucination is created by you. Even amidst their screams, he remained impassive. You don't need to be afraid. Suddenly, something shot past Li Huowang. Tentacles with sharp ends emerged from the black hole, piercing the body of the person closest to him. His self-reassuring thoughts were instantly shattered. Now, Li Huowang's eyes were filled with utter fear and confusion. What is this? Could it be something I created in the hallucination? No way, things in hallucinations wouldn't harm me. This has never happened before. Li Huowang's master floated in the air, surrounded by terrifying blood-red tentacles. His voice was wild. From now on, if anyone dares to have evil intentions. The thin, frail beggars below bowed their heads, sweating with fear. The master's voice echoed, remember what you have witnessed today. He landed and walked down the path, flanked by disciples standing in neat rows. As he walked, he said, let me tell you, helping someone become an immortal is a great merit. The master approached Li Huowang, craned his neck, and said clearly, "If I, your master, become an immortal, I will certainly not forget your kindness." Suddenly, he stopped and turned to Li Huowang. "Last night, those traitors invited you to leave with them, why didn't you agree?" He glanced sideways without turning his head. Hallucination. Li Huowang imagined the master raising his rough hands with black painted nails, reassuring himself, "He and these things are just my hallucinations." Li Huowang felt like he was standing in a pool of blood, surrounded by menacing auras from all directions. He kept comforting himself, "He is just a thought in my head, why should I be afraid of him?" The master slapped his head and praised him contentedly, "Not bad, you're quite good." He walked past Li Huowang, pointed to the sky, and said, "I see you have talent. From now on, you will be my registered disciple, in charge of managing the materials room." Li Huowang was a little surprised. "A registered disciple managing the materials room, my status has been raised." But he reasoned more logically, "No, it's probably because so many people died that he doesn't have enough minions anymore." Suddenly, the master turned back. "Oh, and a Taoist name, as my disciple, you must have a Taoist name." He gave him the name Xianyang. "From now on, your Taoist name will be Xianyang." Seeing that his Taoist name was that of another deceased apprentice, Li Huowang scoffed, "Ha, the previous Xianyang just died, and now I become the new Xianyang." Suddenly, he threw a small pouch to him and told him to take it. Li Huowang looked at the pouch and wondered what it was. His hand still hadn't lowered. He chuckled and said, "These are 5 immortal pills that I've refined. Consuming them will not only increase your lifespan by 10 years, inside the small pouch were red pills with wavy patterns on them, looking quite disgusting." His voice continued, "But will also temporarily grant you great supernatural powers to save your life." Then he continued walking, chattering incessantly, "See, opposing me is a path to death, but helping me will certainly bring you rich rewards." Li Huowang looked at the pills and recalled the scene of those people being killed by the tentacles. He speculated, these pills weren't made using people, were they? Back in reality, in his familiar hospital room, he saw the 2 antique bronze items and the 5 pills neatly placed on the bed. He was surprised, "I actually brought them all back." Li Huowang sat cross-legged on the hospital bed, looking at the items and thinking, "Next, I just need to confirm whether the jade pendant and gold are real or fake." He glanced particularly at the pills. "If the gold and jade pendant are real, then do these pills also work? Should I try one?" Suddenly, the hospital door opened. Yang Na shouted, startling him, "Li Huowang." She said angrily, "I answered your call. I had to skip my self-study class and sneak out over the wall. You better have something important to say." Li Huowang cautiously went to the door, looked around, and gently pulled her into the room. Yang Na, still leaning on her hands with her eyes closed, said, "If it's another prank, humph." After pulling her into the room, Li Huowang closed the door tightly and pulled the curtains as well. Yang Na was so startled that her face turned red when she saw this action of his. She shrank back and stammered, Li Huowang, why are you closing the curtain? They in the nurse's office can hear you." It seemed the nurse was always watching Li Huowang's room, and when Yang Na said that, she chuckled teasingly, "Hee, it's all right, we didn't hear anything, little Li's younger brother, keep it up." Suddenly, he gave Yang Na something. She reached out and looked down. Yang Na stood with her back to the camera, so it was impossible to see what Li Huowang gave her. He faced the camera and scolded, "Hey ladies, can you please stop gossiping, focus on the seriously ill patients." It turned out that Li Huowang had given Yang Na an antique jade pendant. Holding it, she asked him questioningly, "What is this?" Li Huowang leaned close to Yang Na's ear and whispered, "Don't speak, listen to me." Then he whispered something to her. Whatever he said made Yang Na's eyes widen in surprise. A few days later, Li Huowang sat on the hospital bed, one leg bent, the other dangling. He propped his head on his knees and pondered. Even his parents didn't believe him, they thought he was crazy. He looked up, his eyes showing a little anxiety, but also a glimmer of hope. He thought, the only person I can turn to is Nana, only she will listen to me seriously. "Nana, you have to believe me." The nurse on the wall-mounted intercom said teasingly, "Little Li, your girlfriend is here to visit." Li Huowang's eyes lit up, he looked towards the intercom. "Nana." Without hesitation, he stood up, rushed out, and opened the door. Several guards carrying protection barriers were approaching in the hallway. He was overjoyed, she had really come back. They passed Li Huowang. Curious, he turned and asked, "Uncle Zhao, what's going on? Something happened. The man called Uncle Zhao pulled his hat down slightly and instructed, Little Li, close the door quickly, don't go outside. He then left, waving to Li Huowang and repeatedly reminding him, if you see Mr. Lu, report it immediately, he's probably secretly vomiting his medicine again. Li Huowang politely replied, oh, okay. Li Huowang closed the bedroom door and leaned against it, thinking, Mr. Lu escaped from the intensive care unit. How did that frail old man manage to escape? Whatever, it's none of my business, I need to see Nana. A modern high-rise building with striking blue curved glass, symmetrical windows, and a spacious square below, bustling with people. In a secluded corner, Li Huowang leaned against a wall, one leg bent behind him. Yang Na stood straight, her hands in front of her like a well-behaved student. She told Huowang about the task he had given her. Huowang, as you asked, I've had the jade pendant and bracelet you gave me appraised. She carefully reported, the jade pendant is indeed an antique, and its estimated value is no less than 400,000. The bracelet is also real gold. After hearing her, Li Huowang hung his head and scratched his hair. I knew it. He looked up and smiled brightly. I'm not crazy. Joyfully, he lifted Yang Na and spun her around. Haha, Nana, I'm not crazy. Ong Na, startled by being lifted, cried out, whoa, slow down. As they strolled and talked, Li Huowang put his hands behind his head and chattered, hee, it seems my abilities are real, I can't let myself recover that quickly. Nana, are you ready to be a little rich woman? Teasingly provoked, she punched him in the ribs, making him jump. Rich woman, what are you talking about, you smelly little brother? Then, she spoke seriously and gently, Huowang, I don't need the money, your health is more important than this ability. Promise me you'll continue your treatment and not stop taking your medicine, otherwise, I won't help you anymore. Li Huowang stared at her, dumbfounded. Yang Na waited for his answer. Neither of them noticed someone behind them raising their hands. Li Huowang nodded in agreement. Okay, I promise. Suddenly, the person behind them grabbed Yang Na's shoulders and pulled her away. It was Mr. Lu. He flipped Yang Na over and pinned her down. The sudden impact caused her to cry out, ah. Li Huowang roared angrily, Mr. Lu. He ran towards them, shouting, that's my girlfriend, let her go. Before he could reach them, Mr. Lu threw something at his head, blood spurted out. He fell to the ground. Yang Na cried out worriedly, Li Huowang. He lay on the ground, his eyes lifeless and weary, but he still mumbled, stop, stop. Suddenly, the image of his old master appeared in his mind, along with his words, eating this will not only increase your lifespan by 10 years but also temporarily grant you immense strength to save your life. Yang Na was both scared and worried about Li Huowang. Her eyes were filled with tears, and her voice trembled, what's wrong with you? In her eyes, she saw Li Huowang eating a pill. He was still chewing the pill, and a red aura surrounded him. Yang Na stammered, Huowang. Li Huowang leaped up quickly. Mr. Lu, hearing the noise, turned to see what was happening. Before he could speak, Li Huowang grabbed his head and pulled him. A red, murderous glint shone in his eyes. Li Huowang squeezed Mr. Lu's head so hard that he started bleeding. He swiped his hand across Mr. Lu's face, causing blood to splatter. I told you to stop. Li Huowang's eyes glowed red, and he gave a savage smile. Didn't you hear me? The scene changes to a dark, confined room. Huowang is bound by chains. He cries out in shock, let me go. I told you, it was self-defense, Huowang said, his face full of resentment. In the dangerous patient isolation ward, Huowang knelt before Dr. Li, repeatedly explaining, I did it to protect Yang Na, he attacked Nana first. Seeing this, Dr. Li angrily retorted, you call that self-defense, that's murder. Then he suddenly darkened his face and sternly reminded, little guy, tell me the truth, how did you beat the other person up like that? That's not something a normal person could do. At these words, Huowang was momentarily embarrassed, and then hesitantly replied, that, I. But before he could finish, Dr. Li unexpectedly interjected sternly, think carefully before you answer, I hate it when my patients lie. Huowang, upon hearing this, became even more flustered and thought to himself, what should I do? I can't let him know about the pills. Having no choice, he closed his eyes. Seeing this, Dr. Li immediately looked displeased and pressed, Xiao Li, are you listening to me, Xiao Li, Li Huowang, but at this moment, Huo Wang had already fallen into a hazy state, vaguely thinking, if that's the case. Immediately, within a moment, Huo Wang quickly transferred his soul to that other world. Looking at the scene before him, he helplessly chuckled to himself, well, this is a solution anyway. At the same time, at the gate of a dilapidated abandoned city, a giant statue of a dark immortal suddenly appeared, whispers of prayer and supplication echoed eerily around it. Only the three saints, the small Taiji King sword, bear the tribulation's decree, the peak of immeasurable merit. For blessing solve the calamity, universal salvation of existence, command the heavens, grace the three realms. At this time, the ghastly master was continuously muttering aloud. Suddenly, he sternly and decisively called out, Xian Yuan. The master immediately gave instructions. Xianyang has just entered Qingfeng Guan, he certainly doesn't understand much yet, you're his senior brother, guide him. Hearing this, the chubby man standing nearby immediately bowed respectfully, yes, master. With that settled, the master was somewhat relieved, and waved his hand, loudly declaring, all right, it's past Mao hour, there's nothing else, everyone, go eat. As soon as he finished speaking, Zheng Kun, standing nearby, couldn't hide his resentment as he glared at Huo Wang. Feeling the incredibly strange killing intent that had just arrived, Huo Wang was slightly startled, wondering, who is he, why is he looking at me so fiercely? A moment later, the scene shifts to a long and wide corridor. Here, the chubby man continuously reminds the person next to him, Master Zheng Kun, since senior brother Zheng Kan and senior brother Zheng Zhen betrayed us, he is now the last disciple master accepted, show him respect when you see him. And the speaker was none other than the registered disciple, Xian Yuan. Then, Xian Yuan suddenly said sternly and earnestly, he's very petty. Seeing this, Huo Wang felt a little confused and scratched his head, asking, Senior brother Xian Yuan, I've just become the master's disciple, what should I do next, please guide me. To this, Xian Yuan immediately and bluntly replied, even though master personally accepted you as a disciple and let you manage the materials room, if you want master to teach you the Tao to become an immortal, that's still a long way off. That's quite confusing. Huo Wang was surprised and asked again, become an immortal. He was momentarily stunned, excitedly asking, master can really become an immortal. Xian Yuan was also helpless and looked annoyed, hurriedly replying, master's supernatural powers are naturally very powerful, why are you so excited? But the Tao to become an immortal, probably only inner disciples like senior brother Zheng Kun can learn it, he said, sighing with a tsk. Seeing this, Huo Wang was excited, thinking to himself, become an immortal, this place really has many good things, I must seize this chance to make more money here. Soon after, the scene shifts to the alchemy room of Qingfeng Guan. Here, a fiery red killing intent continuously wafted, filling the room. The ghastly master suddenly commanded in a loud voice, open the furnace. Immediately, a dazzling light from the alchemy furnace spread out, quickly engulfing the entire space, blinding everything. A stream of white smoke then appeared, vaguely obscuring the still hot pills. Quickly, the smoke thinned, and the fiery red pills immediately appeared. Without hesitation, the master took out a giant gourd and instantly collected the precious medicinal materials. Looking at them, he couldn't help but feel excited, laughing heartily, haha, not bad, not bad. On the other hand, at the same time, Huo Wang, standing to the side, couldn't hide his astonishment and shock, thinking to himself, damn, I only thought about making money, my vision is too narrow, if I could bring this ability back to reality. He involuntarily smiled, a little bewildered. But before Huo Wang could think too much, the master unexpectedly called out, Xianyang. This made him uncomfortable. He thought to himself, already have something to do, I have to find a way to do it well, let this old geezer teach me supernatural powers. Having no choice, Huo Wang quickly bowed respectfully and calmly replied, Master, do you have any instructions? At this, the master became a little excited and shouted loudly. He was momentarily smug and sternly ordered, now that you're in charge of the materials room, go get the Bai Lingmiao guiding medicine. Faced with the master's order, Huo Wang hesitated, thinking, Bai Lingmiao. He vaguely recalled the kind white-haired girl who had offered to help him before. Could he help senior brother Li? This caused Huo Wang to stand frozen. Seeing this, the master was a little puzzled and asked, I'm talking to you, can't you hear me? Having no choice, Huo Wang helplessly closed his eyes and clicked his tongue, thinking, "Tsk, there's no other way." Suddenly, a familiar voice rang out, "Xianyang." In an instant, the scene before Huo Wang's eyes turned pitch black. He suddenly woke up, opening his eyes to the familiar yet slightly eerie call, "Huo Wang." At this moment, his mother and Dr. Li were both present at his bedside. Seeing them, Huo Wang was startled and asked loudly, "Mom, why is Dr. Li here too?" Hearing this, his mother couldn't hide her anxiety any longer and immediately said, "Your head is all bandaged up, does it hurt a lot?" Without hesitation, Huo Wang calmly replied, "It's okay, Mom, I don't hurt." Seeing this, his mother helplessly smiled bitterly, "My foolish son." She spoke affectionately, her heart aching, "Look how thin you've become, the hospital food isn't good, is it?" As soon as she finished speaking, Mrs. Sun took out a bag of milk grapes from her bag and gently fed them to Huo Wang. "Here, this is your favorite milk grape, Mom will feed you." Seeing this, Huo Wang felt a little embarrassed and hesitantly replied, "Mom, slow down, it's so hard for you to come here, just talk to me here is fine." To this, Mrs. Sun helplessly smiled, choking back tears, "Okay, it's good that you've woken up, otherwise, Dr. Li would have taken me to meet the family of the old man who beat you up that day." Then, Dr. Li suddenly spoke from behind, loudly reminding Mrs. Zun, "The patient's family has been waiting a long time." Mrs. Sun replied dejectedly, "I know, Dr. Li, let me just say one last thing to my son." Hearing this, Huo Wang was immediately a little flustered, and quickly explained, "Mom, I was just defending myself, it was Mr. Lu who attacked young Nana first." Seeing that, Mrs. Sun immediately became serious and gently reassured her, the doctor had already told her everything that happened that day. "Don't worry, son, I'm here," she said firmly, giving him an encouraging gesture to lift his spirits. At these words, Huo Wang was momentarily moved, he frowned, and tears welled up and flowed freely. Without hesitation, Mrs. Sun quickly turned and left, saying, "All right, Mom's going first, remember to take your medicine on time," as the doctor said. Hearing that, Huo Wang couldn't hide his emotion and cried out, "Mom." Mrs. Sun, equally heartbroken, frowned in silent distress. Suddenly, her eyes widened, silently revealing an incredibly strange and deadly aura. Watching his mother's receding figure, Huo Wang anxiously thought, "Mom will definitely scold them soundly when she gets there." But that peaceful moment didn't last long. A sudden, dizzying headache struck Huo Wang, making him pale and startled. He was vaguely annoyed, silently blaming himself, "Damn it, my consciousness is about to be pulled back there again. Mom's sudden arrival made me forget to think of a way to deal with that old geezer." Suddenly, Dr. Li appeared from afar. He pressed, "All right, Xiao Li, we can continue our conversation later, let's talk next time I come back." As soon as he finished speaking, the scene before Huo Wang gradually faded away. A moment later, a familiar voice suddenly rang out, "Oh, you're awake." Huo Wang instantly regained consciousness on the cold, desolate ground. He struggled to his feet and calmly replied, "Yes, I'm awake, master." At the same time, Huo Wang was anxiously thinking, "I wonder if the Bilingmiao pill refining is finished yet." But before he could think too long, his master suddenly rushed over and squeezed Huo Wang's cheeks hard. He triumphantly held a slimy, disgusting creature and declared, "Since you're awake, open your mouth for this Taoist." Immediately, Huo Wang's mouth was filled with the strange creature, he couldn't help but cry out in pain. In an instant, the slimy creature quickly clung to his throat, spreading throughout his body. Huo Wang felt pain and helplessly thought, "Damn it, what the hell is this old geezer shoving into my mouth?" Seeing his frightened expression, the old master couldn't help but laugh excitedly, "That's right, if you don't open your mouth wide, how can you swallow the black tai sui?" As soon as he finished speaking, a terrifying vision of countless slimy creatures crammed into a large coffin instantly appeared. Seeing Huo Wang's suffering, the master laughed triumphantly, "This black tai sui is a good thing, swallowing it will suppress your mental disorder." But Huo Wang refused to submit and forcefully pulled it out. At the same time, he firmly thought, "I'm not eating it. I'm not sick." In an instant, the slimy creature was pulled out and lay neatly in his palm. Seeing this, the master furiously shouted, "Chang Ming, Chang Run." Without hesitation, two servants immediately appeared behind Huo Wang and respectfully replied, "Yes, master." Two swords swiftly flew out. In an instant, Huo Wang was subdued and lay still on the ground. Seeing this, the master directly threatened, "Don't eat it, kid, this isn't something you can decide." At these words, Huo Wang felt indignant and silently thought, "Why can't I decide?" Quickly, he closed his eyes, urging himself to return to the real world. In a moment, Huo Wang woke up startled by repeated calls of Huo Wang, Huo Wang. Yang Na immediately appeared with a worried expression, anxiously asking, "Are you all right, Huo Wang? Are you uncomfortable anywhere?" Seeing her, he felt relieved and called out, "Nana." At the same time, Dr. Li, standing in the distance, couldn't hide his anxiety and called out loudly, "Xiao Li." He repeatedly asked, "What did you see in the hallucination? Your emotions have been fluctuating quite a bit lately." Indeed, Huo Wang felt a pang of guilt and thought, "Hallucination, right? I haven't fully escaped the hallucination." Immediately, without hesitation, Huo Wang asked, "Dr. Li, is there any medicine that can temporarily suppress hallucinations? I want to rest a little." At this, Dr. Li became suspicious and momentarily stood still, pondering. After a while, he hesitantly said, "There's still some of the medicine from last time, let me prescribe some more for you. I think I left it here." "Xiao Li, the medicine only provides support. If you want to completely escape the hallucination, you have to do it my way," the doctor suddenly warned seriously. Quickly, the medicine reached Yang Na. She calmly handed it to Huo Wang and said with a bright smile, "Here's the medicine, Huo Wang, let me help you take it." But the situation was truly critical. Huo Wang couldn't help but frown and urgently said, "No water, just give me the medicine, give it to me first." As soon as he finished speaking, Huo Wang quickly swallowed the pill between the boundary of reality and illusion. Quickly, he narrowly escaped death. Huo Wang breathed a sigh of relief, saying, "Phew, safe now, as long as I take the medicine, those hallucinations won't appear again." Hearing this, Yang Na felt uneasy and anxiously asked, "Safe, Huo Wang, what scared you in the hallucination just now?" At this, Huo Wang replied with a smile, "Nothing, it was just some people there talking strangely, saying I had a mental disorder and wanted to feed me something strange to cure it." "What are you kidding? Could a modern person like me be a hallucination of that Li Huo Wang drug?" he said, smiling smugly. Clearly, that was the hallucination, but before Huo Wang could finish his sentence, a huge tentacle suddenly appeared in his mouth, causing him to choke and cough. Unable to hide his astonishment, Huo Wang was painfully shocked and thought, "Didn't I take the medicine? Why is there still a hallucination?" Then, for a moment, he stubbornly closed his eyes, reassuring himself, "It's okay, just close my eyes and open them again. All illusions will disappear." Indeed, in an instant Huo Wang's body has become invisible and drifted in the void. He momentarily opened his eyes in a daze, then stubbornly closed his eyes again, secretly hoping to be able to return to the real world. But this time luck was not on his side. A voice suddenly rang out, making Huo Wang startled for a moment. He just said he wouldn't eat, now he almost swallowed my hand, this chaotic and still said he wasn't mentally ill." His master smugly turned, but not before calling back, "All right, the madness is over, now you can do some serious work. Remember, Qing Feng Guan doesn't keep idle hands, come see me for medicine on the 1st of every month." Faced with this utterly insane situation, Huo Wang couldn't help but feel angry and frustrated. How could this be? Could this place actually be reality? Could the so-called reality be the illusion? He wondered. Memories from the world he called reality flashed through his mind. Huo Wang immediately knelt on the ground, dejected and in pain. Li Huo Wang's face was blank, disbelieving. He whispered, "No way." A gruesome, choking sob escaped his throat. He mumbled helplessly, "Nana wasn't an illusion." He collapsed to the ground, vomiting blood. "No way." Suddenly, a familiar figure appeared, smiling and calling out to Huo Wang. He froze in surprise. Li Huo Wang, tears welling up, looked up at him, offering a rare smile. "Nana, you didn't leave, you're still here." Before he could finish, his eyes widened in horror. Nana's body began to fade, he could only watch helplessly. Li Huo Wang reached out, but all he grasped were white fragments of indeterminate shape. He screamed, "Nana." His hand clenched, grasping in vain. Li Huo Wang struggled to his feet, his body covered in wounds, raising his hand high. He gritted his teeth in anger, asking himself, "Why?" He looked up to the sky and shouted, "Why am I in this hellhole? This illness won't leave me alone." In the cave, the atmosphere became calm, everyone was seated at the dinner table. Bai Lingmiao carried 3 steamed buns to Li Huowang, who was sitting lost in thought against the cave wall. She sat down in front of him and said kindly, Li Shixiang, eat these buns, you haven't eaten anything all day. Li Huowang coldly took out a green jade pendant and asked, you said before, how did this jade pendant end up with you? Bai Lingmiao calmly replied, Li Shixiang gave it to me, I said I didn't need it, but you insisted on giving it to me. A memory surfaced, nah, I'm not sick, hey, slow down. Bai Lingmiao continued slowly, and you were laughing and shouting that you weren't sick. Li Huowang nonchalantly asked, then what happened? She recounted, then, Wang Shixiang, taking advantage of your illness, hit you on the head with a rock. 2 hazy memories mingled, his blank gaze recalling a blood-soaked face. Bai Lingmiao lowered her head, her hands clenched, her tone slightly angry. Wang Shixiang thought you were dead and tried to attack me. Li Huowang angrily muttered, Wang Shixiang, that fat slob with the split lip. Suddenly, he leaned forward, pressing his face close to hers, where's Wang? Bai Lingmiao frowned, her face shocked, he was killed by Li Shixiang, don't you remember? But in his memory, the person he fought that day wasn't old Lu. So there was no old Lu at all. I'm utterly insane. Li Huowang looked up at the sky, with a large, ornate incense burner in the center. Blood was everywhere. He stood up, dazed, analyzing, if this is reality, then the junior disciples and the other medicinal people, not just them, everyone here will die. He walked slowly, thinking, the mastermind behind all this is that mushroom head. While he was lost in thought, his master in this space spoke, Xianyang, you seem to have something to say. The words made him jump. When did this mushroom head get here? Li Huowang composed himself, respectfully clasped his hands, and replied, Master. The master pressed him further for an answer. He turned with a frightening expression, what are you thinking? Li Huowang stammered, disciple is, his mind raced, he weaseled, disciple admires master's alchemy skills, I wonder when I will reach such a level. Zheng Kun, standing beside him, scoffed inwardly, Haze, such cheap flattery. His master laughed heartily, haha, it's good to be ambitious. Zheng Kun's face darkened with envy, Master, so you like hearing these words. He stroked his beard slyly, it's not that I won't teach you, but the way of external alchemy isn't simple, ordinary elixirs are fine, but if you want to cultivate both internal and external alchemy, to achieve immortality through alchemy. Li Huowang added a few more flattering remarks, Master is about to achieve immortality, but inwardly rejoiced, thank goodness, I got away with it. He climbed up a steep cliff and said proudly, becoming an immortal is not that simple, but I, a Taoist, can definitely succeed. He slowly asked him, do you know why? Li Huowang slightly raised his head, sweating profusely as he replied, disciple doesn't know. His eyes narrowed, becoming deep and full of meaning. Suddenly, Zheng Kun bent down to remind him, Master, it's almost time, if we don't prepare for the alchemy, we'll be late. Hearing this, he coldly snorted, humph, then waved his hand, all right then, let's start preparing. They busily prepared themselves, yes, Master, someone said, not forgetting to order him, Xianyang, quickly go to the materials room and get the medicinal guide I told you to bring here yesterday. Li Huowang was stunned, which medicinal guide? Zheng Kun angrily stepped forward, pointing at his chest, yesterday you sleepwalked, Master told you to bring the white medicinal guide, but you didn't, causing Master to miss the alchemy time, have you forgotten? He emphasized, the medicinal properties of the guide and the alchemy time both affect the quality of the pill, there can't be any deviation. He clicked his tongue and waved his hand, forget it, you wouldn't understand, just go do it. Li Huowang froze, his face showing a moment of bewilderment, the white medicinal guide, the alchemy using by Lingmiao isn't over yet. At this moment, at the Qingfeng Pavilion materials room, everyone gathered together, their faces dull, someone looked inside and worriedly said, it's happening again, there's no escape, we'll all die here. Li Huowang coldly looked at Bai Lingmiao, who was huddled on the ground, he ordered, Bai Lingmiao, come with me. She softly replied, yes, then suddenly called out, Li Shixiang, causing him to startle and turn around. She earnestly asked him, Li Shixiang, if you survive and leave this place, could you please tell my family? Bai Lingmiao lowered her head, emotionally continuing, my parents live at the foot of Mount Nyoshin, Liang Kingdom, please tell them. Tears welled up in her eyes, her voice choked with sobs as she spoke each word. That your unfilial daughter couldn't take care of her parents in their old age. She then burst into helpless sobs. Li Huowang coldly replied, without even looking at her, I can't help you, you don't have much time left. Bai Lingmiao's eyes widened in fear. He rolled up his sleeves, gripped a small sword, and turned back, saying, now, take off your pants. Bai Lingmiao, tears streaming down her face, stared at him with sorrow, softly calling, Li Shixiang. At the same time, his master was sitting atop a towering alchemy furnace, surrounded by a dark, ominous atmosphere and splattered blood. Li Huowang approached with Bai Lingmiao. He bluntly said, Master, the medicinal guide is here. He laughed sinisterly, he, Xianyang, you did well. His face was grotesque as he showered praise, good apprentice, come here, extending his arm. A white force appeared, wrapping around Bai Lingmiao's neck and pulling her away, her mouth gaped open in helplessness. In a moment, she was lying in the palm of her wicked master. He frowned, his face displeased as if he'd discovered something. At that moment, a stream of red blood flowed from her leg. The master sighed, bad luck, mistaking it for her blood. With an irritated tone, he lifted Bai Lingmiao high. Why did this happen now? The medicine's properties have changed. He threw her forcefully to the ground and coldly ordered, Xianyang, take this medicinal guide back. He obediently replied, yes, master. He smirked, success. Next, I just need to get Bai Lingmiao out of here. But he changed his mind, wait, Xianyang, if this medicinal guide is no good, bring another one. He coldly instructed, I remember there's another one. Hearing this, his face blanched, and he bit his lip to suppress his emotions. He urged, hurry back, don't make me miss my alchemy time. Back at the materials room, I'll get another white medicinal guide to the alchemy room. Another girl collapsed, pleading, please, Li Shixiang, I don't want to die. Looking at the tears of those innocent girls, it was only then that I realized I was wrong. I couldn't save Bai Lingmiao. The people crushed in the alchemy furnace, blood staining the entire cave. His master, blood splattered across his face, glanced at him and asked, aren't you eager to pursue the path of alchemy? Come here, look closely. He thought, as long as that old devil keeps making alchemy, I won't be able to save anyone. Tomorrow, the day after, there will still be medicinal guides dying here. He shouted, opening the furnace, releasing a blinding light. Li Huowang thought, I can't become his accomplice. A blood-red pill was formed. He was extremely pleased. Not bad, not bad, none of my other apprentices can learn like you. He generously offered the pill. This is a reward for you. Thinking of only one way, he bowed, accepting the pill and respectfully said, thank you, master, for the pill. After the alchemy, he lightly brushed past Li Huowang. He muttered, to save the medicinal guides. To save myself, he didn't forget to remind, good disciple, eat it while it's hot. He bit his lip, his eyes resolute. He thought, only by killing him. Li Huowang didn't hesitate to swallow the pill. Suddenly, he paused, no, something's wrong with this pill. His mouth gaped open, his tongue out, frantically tearing at his clothes as he cried out, it's hot, so hot. His body blazed like fire, smoke billowing from his chest like in legends. Seeing him like that, he just coldly told him, Xianyang, go back and rest. He looked at him with sinister eyes and slowly explained, this medicine is very strong, it will take some time to fully absorb it. Li Huowang endured the pain, bowed and replied, yes, master. He walked with difficulty, white smoke still billowing. He dug his fingernails into the wall, leaving deep marks. Li Huowang was furious. A section of the stone wall shattered. His strength was terrifying, turning the stone into dust. A painful memory surfaced, the pleas of an innocent person before death. Li Shixiang, I don't want to die, echoing in his head. His body underwent a drastic change, convulsing in pain. I ate a pill made from a person. He seemed to feel the immense power it provided, but with just one pill, I have this metamorphosis strength. He vomited a brown liquid, helplessly thinking, how can I possibly kill that old man who has consumed countless pills? A delicate white arm reached from behind. Bai Lingmiao supported him, anxiously asking, Li Shixiang, are you all right? He stammered, She understood his feelings and gently consoled him, Shixiang, you don't need to blame yourself, you had no choice. Both fell silent for a long time. Bai Lingmiao nervously clutched her clothes, softly calling, Li Shixiang, Shixiang. Her expression changed, she was no longer weak, her eyes filled with hatred. She asked, "You want to oppose master?" Caught off guard, Li Huowang was startled, his eyes wide as he looked at her, unsure if she was friend or foe. Li Huowang quickly pressed Bai Lingmiao against the wall, hissing, "Do you want to die? He might know what's happening here." Lingmiao remained optimistic, replying, "It's all right, Shixiang, today is the day Yu Lao Jia returns from the market, master can't hear us now." Li Huowang frowned and asked, "Yu Lao Jia, what is that?" Around them, the others were dazed and listless. They want to capture people as medicinal guides again, we're doomed. Li Huowang turned to look at them, secretly thinking, sure enough, everyone now sees me as an accomplice of that old mushroom head. He ignored them, taking Bai Lingmiao's hand and pulling her away. "This place isn't safe, let's go somewhere else." A very dirty-looking farmer scratched his neck, his gaze following Li Huowang. He led Lingmiao to a brighter place. On the way, he asked, "Continue, who was that Yu Lao Jia you mentioned?" Bai Lingmiao tilted her head and replied, "Yu Lao Jia is Yu Lao Jia, it can't be seen or touched." She began to explain, "I heard from my family that only those with high cultivation can control them, but on the 1st and 15th of each month, Yu Lao Jia returns to go to the market." Hearing this, Li Huowang pondered, Yu Lao Jia goes to the market on the 1st and 15th, that means during those 2 days, the old mushroom head can't monitor all of Qingfeng Guan. This is important information. Bai Lingmiao suddenly looked uncomfortable. She seriously asked, "Li Shixiang, let's get back to the main point, do you really want to oppose master?" Li Huowang bit his lower lip, clearly showing his hatred. "I wish I could eat him alive." Bai Lingmiao became enthusiastic. She clasped her hands and suggested, "Then I'll help too, I want to contribute." Suddenly, another voice spoke. The person held a strange object. "Count me in." Both Li Huowang and Bai Lingmiao turned around in surprise. Goa held 2 things resembling stones, smiling as he said, "Li Shixiang, you probably don't remember me, I wasn't given a name at birth, so just call me Goa." Goa approached them and gave them the 2 things he was holding. "He, Shixiang, Shiji, eat some cakes." Bai Lingmiao frowned unhappily, "You were eavesdropping on our conversation." Goa chuckled like a sly merchant, No, I wouldn't dare eavesdrop. I originally came to seek Li Shixiang's protection and coincidentally heard the last sentence of the White Lion Guild sister, so." Bai Lingmiao interrupted him cautiously, "You know nothing, why should we believe you sincerely want to join?" Goa responded, hands on his hips, "I admire Li Shixiang, is it wrong to join because of him?" As for Li Huowang, he looked at them strangely and thought, "Xianyang, oh Xianyang, did you also gather people like this before?" Then he asked Goa, "Aren't you afraid of me?" Goa scratched his head and replied innocently, "Why should I be afraid, Li Shixiang, you're also doing this out of necessity." Li Huowang chuckled and declared, "All right, count you in too, just don't regret it." Goa, he thought, hopefully, I won't end up like Xianyang. In the following days, I constantly sought to kill Dan Yangzi, but with only myself and 2 others, opposing him was basically impossible. During this time, I took the medicinal guides from the medicinal storehouse to the pill room one by one. Their desperate pleas flashed through my memory. The only thing I could do was remember their last words, a declaration until the 8th medicinal guide. At that moment, Li Huowang bowed and reported, "Master, the medicinal guides are ready." Dan Yangzi, standing on the cliff, replied, "I know." Dan Yangzi suddenly praised him and made a proposition, "Xianyang, you've done well recently. As I've said, the rules of our Shishan Donghua sect are that merit is rewarded and fault is punished. If you want to learn alchemy, I'll teach you a formula, blood-nourishing pills." Li Huowang's face hardened in astonishment. The person beside his master reacted similarly. Dan Yangzi pointed to the sky and instructed him, "Don't underestimate this formula, although simple, it's a celestial art from the heavenly scriptures." A stern voice continued, "Remember, Ren Dan, Tu Liang, Xiang Fu Zi, half a Jin." Huowang frantically looked around, thinking he needed something to write it down. Without waiting, the voice continued steadily, "Yang Qi Shi, Tu Liang, for Qian." Huowang found a solution, quickly picking up a stone from the ground. The master still taught, "At the 3rd hour of the rabbit, start the furnace, at the right time to bathe, use the eyes to illuminate it, use the breath to maintain emptiness, use the spirit to instill it, use the fire of literature to nourish it, at the 4th hour of the rabbit, open the furnace and it will be successful immediately. Whatever Huo Wang heard, he quickly wrote it down on his clothes. Everything was carefully recorded by Huo Wang. After toiling for a while, he finally finished. He let out a sigh of relief. His robes were covered in characters. Huo Wang then looked up, beaming, and said, "Master, I've written the prescription on my robes." The master remained silent. A moment later, he slightly opened his eyes and clicked his tongue. Huo Wang continued, "Master, did I miss anything?" But as soon as he finished speaking, a foot flew towards his face. Unexpectedly, the master kicked him. The kick was so powerful that it sent him flying backwards several meters. Huo Wang felt pain, and blood started to flow. He really couldn't understand what was wrong with the bald-headed master. Why did he change his attitude so quickly? Huo Wang's heavy body landed painfully on the ground. The master calmly left. Huo Wang thought to himself, even though my handwriting isn't very good, it's still legible, but the bald-headed master didn't even look at it, as if he had some reaction to my writing down the prescription. Then it dawned on Huo Wang, wait a minute, he thought, I remember that during our morning self-study sessions, we didn't have any scriptures, and I never saw any paintings displayed in the Qingfeng temple. All knowledge was transmitted orally. From these facts, Huo Wang began to suspect, could it be that the bald-headed master is illiterate, that he's a completely illiterate person? He lay flat on the ground, not immediately getting up, his heart filled with questions. If this bald-headed guy is illiterate, then who interpreted the celestial scriptures he mentioned? Suddenly, someone approached him. The person spoke first, unexpectedly. It's Huo Wang. Zheng Kuan, bowing his head, said, "You, Huo Wang, even the prescription from the celestial scriptures was passed down to you by the master. It seems the old man was really charmed by you." Huo Wang struggled to sit up and replied, "Senior brother Zheng Kuan, the master's favor towards me is his intention. Even if the master tells me all the immortal techniques in the celestial scriptures, I doubt you could control it." He stood up, gesturing towards the other person. "If you have nothing else, then please excuse me, senior brother, I have to help the master arrange the alchemic materials." They only exchanged a few words, but the next second, Zheng Kuan attacked him. The palm strike landed directly, causing Huo Wang to spit blood, the pain unbearable. He cried out inwardly, "My ribs." Zheng Kuan cruelly kicked him down, cursing, "You only got a single prescription, what do you think you are? The master didn't tell me the immortal cultivation techniques, why would he tell you?" He scornfully warned, "And another thing, stop using the master to scare me. When the master and I were being hunted, you didn't even know where you were." Huo Wang painfully crawled up, coughing incessantly. However, he wasn't afraid of him, and he even retorted sarcastically, "It seems your immortal cultivation talent is quite poor. Otherwise, after following the master for so long, why hasn't he passed on the immortal cultivation techniques to you?" Sure enough, Zheng Kuan was infuriated and launched another attack towards Huo Wang, cursing, "You damned wretch." The blow was so powerful that it sent Huo Wang crashing into a pile of rocks behind him, shattering them. Zheng Kuan yelled, "You're courting death." After a while, the ground fell silent. Xian Yuan approached Huo Wang, who was struggling on the ground, and sighed, "Junior brother Huo Wang, why are you so difficult? Luckily, you ate the master's pills, otherwise, you would have died long ago." He kindly pulled Huo Wang up, reminding him, "Didn't I tell you to respect Zheng Kuan a little? Why did you provoke him?" Huo Wang, pulled up, was beaten half to death and coughed incessantly. But even now, he wasn't afraid. He boldly replied, "What, is he going to kill me? If more disciples in the temple die, this place won't be able to survive." Huo Wang glanced behind him and continued, "Besides, Master Yu Lao Jia is watching from the side." Hearing Huo Wang's words, Xian Yuan looked puzzled. "Yu Lao Jia, what's that?" At this moment, Huo Wang realized something. His eyes widened, and he thought to himself, Xian Yuan doesn't know about Yu Lao Jia's existence. That's right, the day Huo Wang and the others escaped wasn't the 1st or 15th of the month. Furthermore, inner disciples like Zheng Kuan and the bald-headed master didn't pass on the immortal cultivation techniques either. It seems the bald-headed master doesn't trust anyone. Disciples taught by someone like that. After a moment of silence, Huo Wang suddenly burst into laughter. Xian Yuan was genuinely worried about him. Hey. He sighed and wondered, didn't the master give junior brother Huo Wang medicine? Why are you so difficult? But Xian Yuan didn't know how excited Huo Wang was at this moment. He smiled, thinking, I've found a breakthrough. Li Huo Wang was bullied by Zheng Kuan day after day. Now, he only had one thought in his mind, to kill him. Later, taking advantage of another conflict with Zheng Kuan, I revealed information about Yu Lao Jia to him. Zheng Kuan sneered contemptuously. Seeing his expression, I knew something would happen later. Li Huo Wang always observed Zheng Kuan everywhere. I secretly watched, but Zheng Kuan only followed the routine for cultivation. Just when I thought my judgment was wrong, that he wasn't as greedy as I imagined. A month later, on the 15th. Today, the bald-headed master opened the furnace to refine pills, but Zheng Kuan didn't go to the Zhengyi Hall for his usual cultivation. The atmosphere was gloomy at Dan Yangzi's residence in Qingfeng Temple. Li Huo Wang carefully hid behind a large rock and observed. The door to the bald-headed master's residence was open. It seemed Zheng Kuan had found someone to help him sneak in to investigate. He's really suspicious. Even now, he chooses to guard outside. He was surprised by the figure that emerged. Xian Yin, the registered disciple, happily stepped out. They seemed to be exchanging something. After finishing, they tensed their hands, and numerous streams of magical power flowed out. Then, they finally disappeared together in a wisp of colorful smoke. Li Huo Wang breathed a sigh of relief. Finally gone, he thought. The restrictions in the room must have been broken by Zheng Kuan and his accomplice. What kind of spell was that? He happily went inside, waving his arms and legs wildly. Next it was my turn. The room was rotten, pitch black, and looked like it was about to collapse. It smelled like a dead rat. Li Huo Wang silently entered the inner area. Suddenly, he stopped, staring ahead in surprise. Before him was something resembling a stone tablet, sealed with countless iron chains. Li Huo Wang stared blankly at the tablet. This must be the celestial scripture the mushroom-head father mentioned. The characters are illegible. This line appears to be a transcription of a scripture, and lacks a direct translation without context. It should be retained as is. He pondered, this celestial scripture is clearly a religious text. There's no alchemy method on it. Why would the mushroom-head father use it for alchemy, unless... Suddenly, a shimmering purple space appeared behind him. A voice echoed in the dim air. Are you in cahoots with the milk giver? From somewhere, a ceramic jar with a terrifying face appeared. It cackled, don't move, I'll just ring this bell, and my father will be here. Li Huo Wang nervously glanced behind him, staring at it with apprehension. He trembled. So that's it, okay, go ahead and ring it. Li Huo Wang's lips curled up in excitement. Perfect, this will show that old man you don't understand this scripture at all. You've been lying to him. He was so provoked that he gnashed his teeth, angrily sputtering, You, how did you find out? Li Huo Wang chuckled inwardly. I guessed right, she's the one helping the mushroom-head father interpret the scripture. The jar fidgeted nervously in front of Li Huo Wang. She tried to explain, but, I can't help it, I don't understand that crazy scripture at all, but my father forced me to read it to him. Li Huo Wang listened, arms crossed. Aren't you afraid he'll find out? She clicked her tongue. Anyway, my father can't read, I just say whatever I want. Li Huo Wang glared at her. So, the human-based alchemy recipe was also your lie? She nodded in agreement. Yes, I just remembered those things and pretended they were in the book. Don't worry, it won't kill anyone. I don't want my father to get hurt. I'm just afraid my father will find out I'm useless and won't need me anymore. Look at me, I'm helpless. Before she could finish, Li Huo Wang grabbed the jar's neck. Startled by his action, she involuntarily cried out, Eh. He strained his muscles, slamming her to the floor. Blood gushed out. It was gruesome. Her face contorted in agony. It hurts so much. Li Huo Wang stared blankly. Your recipe really doesn't kill people, huh? He clenched his fist, standing defiantly amidst the chaos on the floor. But because of your recipe, the mushroom-head father has been eating people. Tears streamed down her face as she whimpered in excruciating pain. Father, it hurts so much. At that moment, hundreds of people stood before a huge stone statue. White smoke billowed, creating a mystical scene. The sound of hurried footsteps echoed from outside. Here it comes, just as Li Huo Wang predicted. In his hand, he held a grotesque, monstrous head. Who is it? His master, brimming with murderous intent, his eyes bloodshot. Who dared sneak into my room while I was alchemizing? Li Huo Wang stood calmly, ignoring his master's relentless questioning. None of you will speak, will you? Stepping past the thousands of people, he raged, "Then I, your Taoist master, will question each of you individually." The master instantly teleported to his two apprentices, Chongming and Chongren. "What were you doing while I was alchemizing?" They were startled by his question. The master's oppressive aura was suffocating. Chongming stammered, "Master, Chongren and I guarded the gate of Qingfengguan as you instructed." A crimson aura of killing intent glared at Chongming, making him gasp. Chongren and I didn't dare slack off for a moment." Seeing their sincerity, the master didn't question them further. He moved on to the next person, Xian Yuan. "What about you?" The fat man stammered, "Master, I." He gave a lengthy explanation. Li Huowang, standing nearby, started sweating. It seemed his turn was next. The atmosphere suddenly fell into a terrifying silence. Some showed signs of fear, trembling incessantly. A hand with blackened nails slowly reached towards Li Huowang Xianyang. He stuck out his ugly face, exhaling puffs of white smoke. "Your turn, where were you after delivering the guiding medicine today?" He struggled to speak to his master, swallowing hard before saying, "Disciple was in the medicine room preparing herbs for the next alchemic process." He grimaced inwardly, this oppressive feeling. No wonder Chongming and Xian Yuan were sweating so much. He questioned those behind Li Huowang, "Did you really see Xianyang in the medicine room?" At this moment, everyone stood as still as statues. The master sneered, pointing, "Think carefully and speak. If anyone finds this person for me, I will not only let him go home, but I will also give him some travel expenses." A weak voice came from the crowd, "Master, Brother Li was indeed with us at that time." Bai Lingmiao clearly declared, "I can testify for senior brother Li." He squinted his eyes. The child made eggs. She was also worried and sweat was pouring down her face. "What about the others?" Suddenly, a loudmouth emerged from the crowd. He said, "This Xianyang didn't even go to the medicine room today," he boasted. Upon hearing this, Li Huowang and Bai Lingmiao's faces turned pale. The two apprentices who had earlier entered the master's house secretly smiled to themselves. Their master remained standing, imposing and murderous. The man brazenly negotiated, "Immortal master, I've found him, can you take me home now?" Blood rushed to the old master's head. He crushed the head he'd been holding, revealing his yellowed teeth as he yelled, "Lies, Xianyang brought the medicine himself this morning. He didn't go to the medicine room, so where did he get the medicine from? Do you want to die?" The words rendered him speechless, his legs buckled in terror. He pathetically prostrated himself, begging, "Immortal grandfather, I was wrong, I was blinded by greed and lied." To the master's right, Xian Yin was subtly smiling. He watched with amused interest. Suddenly, a large chunk of flesh was crushed and flung, splattering across Xian Yin's face. His eyes now reflected only the master's figure, remembering Xuanyang's false accusation. "You were laughing, weren't you?" He transformed into a bloodthirsty demon, his fangs bared, his eyes seeming to devour Xian Yin. The master roared, lunging towards him. "Did you enjoy seeing him falsely accused?" Startled, Xian Yin recoiled. "What?" The master let out a terrifying roar. Xian Yin's face turned ashen. He trembled under the master's overwhelming pressure. He collapsed, losing his composure. He blurted out, "Master, master, no, I didn't do it." He screamed, pointing at the man in yellow. "It was Zhengkuan, senior brother Zhengkuan forced me." He reflexively turned his head. But all Zhengkuan saw were the master's cold, bloodshot eyes. The instinct to flee death suddenly awakened within him. Terrified, Zhengkuan turned to run. The master's bloodshot eyes fixed on Zhengkuan. Disappointed, he said, "It's you, I should have known." Zhengkuan frantically fled, ignoring the many eyes upon him. The master calmly took something from his pocket. "Only you can break the seal in my room, but you thought." Zhengkuan continued his escape, looking pathetic. The master held a tarnished gold coin, staring at it. "Did you think I'd let you freely enter and leave my room?" He flicked the coin into the air, then concentrated all his strength in his leg, preparing to crush it. As if connected to Zhengkuan, a strange coin-shaped mark appeared on his head. Under the master's foot, the coin shattered. Zhengkuan's body was instantly ripped apart, his limbs separated from his torso. Running too fast, he lost his footing, his body flew forward, leaving a trail of blood. He groaned in regret. "Master." Bai Lingmiao observed his weak words. "Ah. I was wrong." Li Huowang stood impassively. Looking at the mess on the floor, Zhengkuan was no longer whole, his mangled body twitched. Pathetically, he pleaded, "I was wrong, master." He tried to justify himself. "When the Zhengde sect pursued us, my 2 younger brothers sacrificed themselves to save us." Despite this, the master showed no sign of stopping. He stood towering over Zheng Kuan. "My good disciple, I know what you're thinking." Desperate, he begged, "Master, I'm now crippled, please forgive me this once." But the master's response was another devastating kick. He clicked his tongue in disdain. "You and your 2 younger brothers are ungrateful wolves who'll never submit." With that, the master kicked his head with immense force, shattering it and sending blood splattering everywhere. White incense smoke slowly dissipated into the darkness, a mystical aura emanating from the large statue. Li Huo Wang, holding incense sticks, knelt and prayed. The master stood beside him, silently observing. He prostrated himself 7, 8, 9 times. His face gaunt, he said, "It's finished, master." The master calmly replied, "Having offered incense before the ancestral master, you are now my sole disciple." Cheers of celebration erupted like a waterfall. Hundreds bowed in respect, congratulating the master and his new disciple. However, the man who had falsely accused him and Bai Lingmiao still showed some apprehension and fear. He slowly left. "Okay, Xianyang, follow me, everyone else disperse." Li Huo Wang just nodded unconsciously. Yes, respectfully, he secretly rejoiced in his heart. "This moment has finally come, rest assured, leper, I will help you attain enlightenment and become an immortal." The master and disciple stood before the sealed stele. The old master spoke first. "I remember you know characters, right, Xianyang?" Hearing the question, he didn't rush to answer. After a while, he narrowed his eyes and admitted, "Yes, master." Hearing his answer, the master immediately unleashed his spiritual energy, creating a green vortex around his hand. Good that you know characters." He curled 3 fingers, the spiritual energy instantly extended, dispersing into the sealed steel like chains, gradually removing the seals. "Now, go examine the characters on the celestial book, see if you understand them." He calmly walked towards the stele. "Yes, master." Examining each red character on the celestial book, he pondered for a long time. The previous immortal cultivation techniques were all haphazardly compiled in that vase. If he couldn't keep up, he might be exposed. Instead, why not overturn everything? Li Huo Wang feigned understanding. This disciple understands." The old master frowned. What's the delay, tell me what you see." He scratched his head, embarrassed. "Master, on this celestial book, why isn't there the recipe for the blood-nourishing pills you taught me before?" He raised an eyebrow in confusion. Li Huo Wang stroked his chin, questioning. The celestial book contains a set of internal energy cultivation techniques. It says here that cultivation must begin before the old year ends and the new year begins, combined with several external elixirs used simultaneously. Only then can one absorb the spiritual energy that heaven pours into the mortal realm to achieve immortality. Hearing this, the master hastily pushed him aside. "The cultivation technique, and it requires external elixirs," Li Huo Wang confirmed. "There are several types of external elixirs. I found one that requires 2 liang and 4 qian of cinnabar, 1 qian of white fairy herb, and 1 liang and 2 qian of arsenic." As soon as he finished, the old master's face twitched repeatedly. Li Huo Wang spread his hands in confusion. "And one needs Yu Lao Jia to refine the soul of it. Master, what kind of herb is this Yu Lao Jia?" His anger reached its peak. No wonder. The master clenched his fists and buttocks, roaring madly. "No wonder that little girl said this celestial book would change. It's impossible to memorize. No wonder I haven't achieved immortality for so long." The old master flung his hand, releasing his pent-up anger. "You dare to deceive me, you deserve to die." He turned to him threateningly. "That little girl could deceive me, you won't dare deceive me too, will you?" Li Huo Wang stupidly retorted. "Master, this is the method to achieve immortality. How could I deceive you? I also want to achieve immortality." The master peered intensely at his face, looking from right to left. The old master burst into laughter, delighted. "Good, tell me this cultivation technique first." He waved him off. "Wait until we master this cultivation technique before refining the external elixirs. This time, we'll achieve immortality together." In contrast to the old man's cunning smile, he was now filled with killing intent. "Yes, master." The cave's thick darkness swallowed any faint light, giving the feeling of entering a forgotten world. Li Huo Wang held a torch. "You're exhausted. Luckily, I've read quite a few novels, otherwise, the cultivation technique I made up today would have been exposed by that mushroom head. Welcoming them at the cave entrance were many people holding glowing flames. Li Shixiang, he was surprised, you all. He let out a long sigh of relief. Don't worry, once I'm back safely, my promise to help you escape still stands. Soon, you'll all be home. Seeing this, everyone rejoiced. They knelt down, sincerely thanking him. Li Shixiang, you are our savior. Li Huowang was flustered. What are you doing, today, in the Zhengyi Hall? If it weren't for you all, I'd be dead. Should I also kneel and thank you? He vaguely thought, who would have thought that in this strange world, would become teammates with such strangely looking people. Li Huowang cheerfully waved his hand. Everyone, I need your help with something. This concerns whether we can successfully escape Qingfengguan. Bai Lingmiao was stunned. What is it, Li Shixiang? He answered seriously, do you know any other legends or stories, like the legend of Yulao Jia? Besides Yulao Jia, I've heard a story about another evil thing. It's called Dalao Lao. Li Huowang gasped, this Dalao Lao doesn't seem special. Ling Miao nervously put her index finger to her lips. Shu, Li Shixiang, keep your voice down, be careful, Dalao Lao might hear you, this thing is very evil. First, its appearance is different to everyone. Some say it's like a long-eared spirit, others say it looks exactly like a deceased old man. Furthermore, if you frequently mention Dalao Lao, Huowang quietly said, then what? Ling Miao's face darkened, then Dalao Lao will come find you. After saying that, a big black hand suddenly emerged from the gate, its fingernails were sharp as if in warning. And if it finds out, you will also become a big boss. A monster resembling Ling Miao appeared before him, making him jump. Bai Ling Miao smiled brightly, bowing towards Li Huowang. So, Li Shixiang, the information about the Dai Lao Lao, is it useful? He angrily let out a breath, making Ling Miao questioningly ask, just being near the Dai Lao Lao for a while will turn you into one. This world is so strange, there are all sorts of bizarre things. Li Huowang judged with a headache, alright, the information about the Dai Lao Lao is very valuable, anything else? The crowd immediately became noisy. Shixiang, I know something too. One of them appeared, scratching his head as he said, Shixiang, I once heard that someone skinned children, put dog skin on them, and trained them like dogs, then they used these dogs that understand human speech to perform street shows. Li Huowang was slightly disappointed. I don't need these horror stories, I want things like the bizarre Yulao Jia. It was Xiao Wu's turn to tell a bizarre story. His appearance was almost as strange as Yulao Jia's. Shixiang, I know about a fish called Gong Biangu, I heard it from my grandparents. Gong Biangu not only has a strange appearance but also only appears during major floods. Li Huowang inwardly accepted it. Sounds like a bizarre creature indeed. He nodded in agreement. Gong Biangu counts as one. The large man suddenly raised his hand. Yu Shixiang, I also know something. Li Huowang, seeing his stammering, stepped forward to stop him. Alright, that's enough for now, I'm going, you all just wait quietly for my news. The large man was confused. What's intelligence? Take 2 hearts of the Dai Lao Lao to refine its essence. What's the Dai Lao Lao's master? Don't worry about it, keep reading. Li Huowang focused on the stone tablet with a pensive look. Next is a Gong Biangu, its gills soaked in 2 liang of arsenic. The old master was excited. Arsenic is inherently cold, you definitely need this Gong Biangu, a hot and dry creature, to neutralize the magical technique. Furthermore, the heavenly scripture uses the Dai Lao Lao to refine pills. That's right, if humans can be refined into pills, then why not these sinister things? I never thought of that before. He finished, and the master created a magical artifact in his palm. That golden magical artifact revealed a small, dazzling golden bell. Li Huowang suddenly turned around. This is. The bell sound resonated, pressing down on the space. The old master shook it, making the bell sound echo. Li Huowang fell, covering his ears with both hands. My head hurts. What's happening? Could my plan have been discovered? Where did I go wrong? Energy from the ancient heavenly scripture stone tablet poured out, making Li Huowang's awareness slightly hazy. What is this again? Gathering together, a hazy figure appeared beside the master. That soul with the strange, bumpy head was Yulao Jia. Li Huowang's pupils widened, a little worry in his heart. these two things were summoned by the old master's bell. Wait, The master was holding a large clump of earth from the ground and eating it. He was chewing the earth in his mouth. The master stood there with his arms crossed, speaking an incomprehensible strange language to the two Yulaojia souls. Yulaojia replied briefly. After finishing, his soul dissipated into the dim air, leaving only the master muttering, although the things in the heavenly scripture are hard to find, that doesn't bother your master, as long as I know where it is, I can steal it all. Li Huowang asked foolishly, steal, but he couldn't help but think about the two souls earlier. Could those two things help find the materials to refine pills? The old master grumbled unhappily, of course, you have to steal. If you don't steal, will people just give them to you for nothing? Pointing to the sky, he explained, what I summoned with the bell just now was Yulaojia. This Yulaojia is incredibly useful for finding things. It's just one of them. Originally, I spent a lot of effort stealing this bell. When I was 5, an older beggar snatched a bowl of gruel from me. At that time, I understood a principle: if I don't have what others have, what am I going to do? The word is steal. In my youth, I stole wives, horses, and silver. Later, I stole martial arts techniques, magical artifacts, and disciples. Even Qing Feng Guan, I stole it. See if that clay ancestor has anything to say. So, child, listen to what the adults are saying. As your Taoist master, I'm telling you this because I consider you family. This is just to teach you to be smarter. Li Huowang foolishly wondered, but master, what if you can't steal it? The old master, hearing this question, his face darkened. He muttered, incurable, truly incurable. He hit Huowang's head with his hand and angrily shouted, your educated head is so stubborn. If you can't steal it, don't you know how to find a way to steal it? The master carefully advised, if one person can't steal it, two people work together. If you still can't steal it together, use poison. If poison doesn't work, then use underhanded methods. Li Huowang twitched his jaw and praised, still, master, you see through the world. Say I am illiterate, say I have no enlightenment, say I am heretical, say I have no spiritual heart. The old master with a mushroom head approached the stone tablet of the heavenly book and gritted his teeth. When I become an immortal, I will lift their eyelids and let them see clearly. Now, who is the one without enlightenment and who is the one without the heart of the Tao? The Tao of heaven subtracts the excess to supplement the deficiency. The Tao of man subtracts the deficiency to offer the excess. Ancient immortals transcended their physical forms and transformed into deities through extreme stillness and emptiness, achieving selflessness. The 12 pavilions of the heavenly white jade scripture. The 5 immortal palaces, the summit where the tree of life blossoms. Afterwards, I lived with the mushroom head, witnessing the worldly pleasures, the chaotic love affairs, and the fleeting fame of 96 holy monarchs. During this time, I continuously refined the celestial scripture, making the method of achieving immortality more reliable. The 9 heavens Xian Sha transformed into divine thunder, its celestial might descending from the sword. The profound mysteries of heaven and earth, the myriad qi, are the root of great cultivation. After countless eons, one achieves supernatural powers. The mushroom head wasn't idle either. Soon he found everything I had mentioned. Li Huowang slumped to the ground, looking at the pile of ingredients before him. Master. He sneered, smiling happily at Dan Yangzi, shall we start the furnace now? Just when I thought the mushroom head couldn't wait to start refining the elixir, he said something completely unexpected. Dan Yangzi was indifferent. No hurry, it's still some time before New Year's, let's have our New Year's Eve dinner first. Li Huowang resentfully looked at the food on the plate, thinking, New Year's Eve in this place. Looking at the plate of dumplings, he sat restlessly silent. Why aren't we setting out chopsticks and bowls for the deceased disciples? Let's bring them back for New Year's Eve dinner. Li Huowang thought to himself, having New Year's Eve dinner with the mushroom head in this ghastly place. Dan Yangzi nodded in satisfaction. Haha, that's right, eating together, that's how you celebrate the new year. Dan Yangzi uncontrollably devoured the food on the plate. These dumplings with pork cracklings and chives are delicious. He tapped his chopsticks, looking at his disciples. Eat, what are you staring at? All the disciples looked sullen at the food on their plates. Dan Yangzi slowly picked up a dumpling. You're lucky, when I was your age, you wouldn't even know what dumplings looked like. That year, due to some leftover food, I smelled the aroma of someone else's dinner. The daughter of the house saw me and begged her father to let me in to eat. I went in and then I knew what dumplings were. I still remember they were filled with pork cracklings and chives. The old master bit into a dumpling, the filling spilling out, delicious. Li Huowang chewed, thinking, it really must be delicious. He devoured the dumpling. This is New Year's. It's not just the dumplings, it's being together. How could these memories be fake? Dan Yangzi's long, black fingernails pointed towards him. Child. He passed Li Huowang and put a hand on his shoulder. Eat slowly, or you'll choke. You're crying. His face was calloused, his eyes dull and filled with tears. Dan Yangzi pulled out many red envelopes from his robes. Don't eat so fast, these are for you. He gave Chongming and Chongren each an envelope. Put them under your pillows. Both of them happily bowed and shouted in unison, thank you, master. Dan Yangzi glanced at them. No need to thank me. Happy New Year. The other apprentices bowed and accepted their gifts. Happy New Year, master. Dan Yangzi laughed happily. Happy New Year to all of you. He went around stuffing envelopes onto the plates. And my deceased apprentices, you'll have some too. Dan Yangzi stopped at Li Huowang. Child, you don't need a red envelope, do you? He stuck out his tongue, looking at him slyly. Master, let's become immortals together, and live as long as heaven and earth. Li Huowang smiled in agreement. All right, master. Watching Dan Yangzi refine the elixir, Li Huowang secretly rejoiced. This alchemy process is going smoothly as usual, but the mushroom head is suspicious. Isn't he dragging me along to become an immortal because he's afraid my recipe is fake? His eyes showed fierce determination, but I'm not afraid. Both master and disciple sat before a burning incense stick. Good disciple, you eat first, I'll protect you. Li Huowang nodded. Thank you, master. He put the golden elixir in his mouth, silently calculating. Mushroom head, take your dream of immortality and die with me. As soon as he finished speaking, Li Huowang swallowed the elixir in one gulp. Dan Yangzi sat quietly, carefully watching him. The incense stick between them was almost burned out. Li Huowang's body was enveloped by a thick, gray gas. Dan Yangzi was surprised. So much innate spiritual energy, this is. Li Huowang crazily raised his hands to the sky, shouting joyfully. So that's it, I've understood, I'm about to become an immortal. The master muttered to himself, becoming an immortal. He frantically stuffed the elixir into his mouth. Taoism, I want to become an immortal too. Two streams of spiritual energy erupted, swirling around the space. Li Huowang clutched his bleeding stomach. Blood gushed from his mouth. My stomach hurts so much. He collapsed to the ground, looking contentedly at Dan Yangzi. Cough, cough, ha. Li Huowang provoked the general, still practicing mushroom head. Dan Yangzi's body continuously twisted at Li Huowang's words. I copied that technique from Xianxia novel. You can't become an immortal. He struggled to take an immortal pill from his pocket. Ah. Li Huowang forced himself to bite into the pill. You'll only become a ghost. He glared at Dan Yangzi with murderous intent. Hey, are you deaf? Li Huowang forcefully pressed the old master's face down. Hey, I'm talking to you. Dan Yangzi's eyes were filled with numerous golden pupils. You are all evil. He violently sat up, emitting spiritual energy that sent him flying. Don't try to stop my ascension, get lost, I'm about to become an immortal. Li Huowang gritted his teeth in pain and fell to the ground. Dan Yangzi coughed up blood, losing control of his body. My ancestor is coming to take me. Li Huowang scoffed at the sight. Crazy, he's driven mad by his obsession with immortality. He painfully squeezed his eyes shut. Cough, my stomach hurts, I regret it, I should have brought a knife to cut my throat. Li Huowang reached out as a strange image changed. Yang Na's gentle voice called out, Wang, Huowang. He happily looked at the empty space in front of him. Nana, are you here to get me? Even if it's just an illusion, it's not bad. Dr. Li's urgent voice sounded. Bed 14, vague consciousness, preliminary diagnosis is food poisoning, quickly get the electric suction device to perform gastric lavage. Li Huowang stared blankly as the gastric lavage tube was lowered into his mouth. Gastric lavage, this is a mental hospital, where's the gastric lavage machine? Can you illusions be a little more logical? Li Huowang's body slumped. In his blood-soaked mind, he heard Yang Na's pleading voice. Huowang, Li Huowang, hang in there. A fly suddenly landed on his eye. You promised me. Li Huowang immediately vomited a lot of dark red mucus. He uncontrollably vomited. Li Huowang spat out the last drop of blood. I'm still alive. How is this possible? Wait. He slowly glared resentfully at Dan Yangzi. If I'm still alive, then Dan Yangzi. His scara filled with blood vessels as he cursed inwardly, damn it. Huo Wang turned to see Dan Yangzi transformed into a grotesque creature and cursed, damn it, what the hell is that? He saw 3 heads with a gigantic mouth and teeth from the pre-Napoleonic era growing out of Dan Yangzi's head. He guessed it was the 3 flowers at the top, the ascension dance of immortals. Yangtze uttered an eerie sound, so that's it. He kept repeating one sentence, I've enlightened, I've enlightened, I've enlightened, I've enlightened. He went mad, his body self-destructing as he spoke, I've understood the Tao. Before Huo Wang's eyes, he exploded. His blood and flesh splattered everywhere, staining Huo Wang. With that face, he would never forget that horrific scene. He looked down and saw a piece of skin, a part of Yangzi's scalp. Huo Wang burst out laughing, he slumped to the ground, looking at the blood-soaked hands, and laughed loudly, I guess the mushroom head is finally dead. Looking at the piece of skin in his hand, he wondered, but why am I still alive? His eyes were devoid of light, vaguely, he didn't know what to do, what should I do next? 2 people ran towards him, ready to fight, hey, you demon, tell us, where is our master? He pointed to the ground, your master is right under your feet. Senior brothers, I'm Xianyang, Changming and Changren looked down. Changren didn't believe him, he shouted, you're lying, master. He rushed towards them, showing them the piece of scalp, look, he's really dead. Huo Wang explained, the mushroom head killed people all his life, he deserved to die, but I didn't kill him for that, it was personal. Seeing them turn and run without listening, he called out, hey, listen to me first. Seeing that he couldn't explain anything further, he shook a small bell. Shaking the bell and holding Dan Yangzi's piece of scalp, he announced, everyone, look, the mushroom head is dead, you can all go home now. Seeing that piece of scabby skin, everyone could guess that piece of skin was indeed mushroom head's, that's right, it was him. Everyone was happy, running around shouting, quickly chasing after, finally we can go home. Huo Wang walked towards the exit, announcing to the others, everyone, get out, Dan Yangzi is dead, you can all go home to celebrate the new year. The man being carried on someone's shoulders, though exhausted, still cheered, mushroom head is dead, dead. Another man casually invited, fellow senior brothers, where are you from, let's go together later. Bai Lingmiao also said, finally, we can go home, let's go home, Li Shixiang. Everyone followed Huo Wang's footsteps with more enthusiasm than ever before. Suddenly, he stopped, there were strange sounds outside, he wondered, what's that sound? He and everyone else hid behind the door. Then they saw Xian Yuan, Chang Ming, and Chang Ren fighting. Xian Yuan, his eyes bloodshot, said, Xianyang Shixiang, come here quickly, we'll kill Dan Yangzi's 2 accomplices and share the heavenly scripture together. Chang Ming shouted, get away, Xianyang, if you don't want to die, get far away, master only taught you alchemy, in this situation, do you think you can deal with 2 sword cultivators like us? Seeing them fight over something that wasn't even there, he sighed in relief, it's because of the heavenly scripture, he realized, advising the 3, but it's not a divine scripture, just ancient scriptures, 3 senior brothers, it's better if you come with us. Chang Ming and Chang Ren, their eyes devoid of humanity, pushed Huo Wang aside, Xianyang Shixiang, if you're not interested in the heavenly scripture, then scram. Li Huo Wang's senior brothers seized the opportunity to flee, okay, we'll go first, he said, pointing forward, 3 senior brothers, continue, we'll meet again if fate allows. Anyone who wants to go home, follow me closely, don't curiously look inside, the 3 senior brothers' swords have no eyes. Everyone had left the cave. They joyfully shouted, we're out, going home, I want to go home. Li Huo Wang was thoughtful, it's dawn already, I and that scalper spent the whole night in the alchemy room. Bai Lingmiao approached, taking his sleeve and softly calling, Li Shixiang, let's go. Huo Wang took her white jade hand and placed it on something, wait, he said. This is the last will and addresses left behind by the drug makers after their deaths, after you get out, remember to find an escort agency to return them to their families. She asked, surprised and worried, Li Shixiang, aren't you going home? Hearing her question, he inwardly mocked himself, home, but I don't have a home anymore, where else can I go? She could only watch his lonely back as he walked back into the cave, people were still continuously running out, eager to go home. He lay on the rough dry grass, unconsciously remembering some things. Now that I think about it, today is the first day of the first lunar month. I haven't taken that disgusting black sesame paste this month. The effect of suppressing hallucinations is about to wear off. Even if it's fake, let me see Nana again. Once is enough. His consciousness gradually sank into nothingness. In the endless darkness, two voices seemed to call him. Li Shixiang, let's go. It was Bai Lingmiao. He coldly replied, no need, this place is quite good, I'm used to it. In fact, Bai Lingmiao was beside him. A timid person among the group spoke up, if Li Shixiang wants to stay here, maybe we should go. Bai Lingmiao angrily shouted, shut up. The space fell silent. She bowed her head and mumbled, Shixiang, if you can't go home, you can come to my house. My house is very big, and there's also a spare room. Little did she know his consciousness was hovering between two worlds, her image and Nana's overlapping. Shixiang, you're not completely alone, Huowang, you still have me. In the modern world, Li Huowang's body was being cared for in the hospital, surrounded by doctors, his mother, and Yang Na. Yang Na was also calling him, Li Huowang, you can't give up on yourself, can you hear me? His mother was also calling him sorrowfully, son, you can't die. If you die, how will your mother and father live? The calls of his name continued, as if trying to wake him up. His consciousness slowly reacted. He raised his hand, wanting to grasp that image. Nana, is that you? Both called each other's names. He felt himself holding Yang Na, feeling he heard her instructions. Huowang, promise me, no matter what happens, you'll never give up, you must try to live, okay? He happily replied, okay, I promise you. Bai Lingmiao's voice rang out, Li Shixiang, let's go, I feel uncomfortable here. He was startled to realize that Yang Na's image was instantly replaced by Bai Lingmiao. Bai Lingmiao returned the crumpled paper he had given her earlier, right, returning this to Li Shixiang, we all can't read, Li Shixiang still has to handle this will himself. A big man wanted to say he could read, but a thin man behind him covered his mouth. He whispered, even if you can read, pretend you can't for me now. Meanwhile, Lingmiao continued to speak to him, Li Shixiang, you promised them yourself, a true man of character cannot break his word. She didn't know his mood at the moment. He tried to regain his composure, his hand unconsciously clenched the paper, okay. Let's go. Huowang stepped forward, pushing through the crowd without looking back. First, let's gather supplies here, we don't want to run out of food on the road, we also have another matter to attend to, everyone replied in unison, okay, brother Li. Li Huowang wandered through the cave, feeling strangely uneasy. Why couldn't he find the black tai sui anywhere in Qing Feng Guan? Could it have grown legs and run away? Without the black tai sui, he couldn't control his madness. Only the alchemy room remains, the place where that little punk ascended. Lost in thought, he found the black tai sui in a place it shouldn't have been. What the heck, how did it get out of the cave and here? Could it be because of Dan Yangzi's remains? Wait, why is the black tai sui dehydrated? Wait, why is the black tai sui dehydrated? Is this thing connected to Dan Yangzi's life force? He rushed over, hey, cheer up a bit, if you die of dehydration, what will happen to my madness? Don't you want a piece of Dan Yangzi's remains? I'll feed it to you. He quickly picked up a piece of bone and flesh from the ground and shoved it into the black tai sui's mouth. Unexpectedly, the bizarre black tai sui had a problem after chewing on the bone fragment, causing Huowang to fall to his knees in despair. What's going on? After swallowing Dan Yangzi's remains, the black tai sui is even more severely dehydrated. No, this black tai sui can't be wasted, even if it dies, he thought and decided to do something. Meanwhile, Bai Lingmiao was packing her things and muttering to herself, dry food, travel expenses, and a few sets of clothes. There were probably no leftovers from this Qing Feng Inn, enough to last for a while on the road. Every now and then, she would think of Huowang, wondering how senior brother Li was doing. Suddenly, she heard people whispering, is this what senior brother said we should do? Oh no. I wish I hadn't come. Heaven knows if we'll have enough to eat on the road. The voices drew Lingmiao's attention. She saw Huowang in front of her, devouring the black tai sui. His mouth was covered in blood, making everyone nauseous. Without any fear, she ran over and called out, Brother Li, you're here. Seeing her, he calmly replied, yes. This black tai sui can suppress my madness, but I don't know why it keeps dehydrating and looks like it's about to disappear. I'm really out of options, that's why I'm doing this. She looked at him with sorrow. Senior brother, your clothes are dirty, I brought you some clean clothes, is there anything else you need? She said, handing him the clothes, and didn't forget to give him a beautiful, pure smile like a snowflake. He took the clothes nonchalantly and replied, let's go, there's another place we need to check. The group went to a hall. Li Huowang assessed the surroundings and said, it's so quiet here, it seems the three senior brothers have settled their dispute. Then he went inside and asked, senior brothers, are you finished fighting? He entered, the smell of fresh blood filled the air, but the bodies were so mangled they were barely recognizable. Huowang's expression was calm, but he feigned surprise. Oh my! They're all dead, what a massacre! He walked to a spot, picked up a sword, and said, these corpses, senior brother probably won't need this sword anymore. Then I'll take it. Li Huowang looked at the so-called heavenly scripture before him and thought to himself, if this heavenly scripture is left here and discovered by others, who knows how many people will be harmed. Li Huowang sighed, took a step back, then reached behind his back and slowly drew his sword. A clang echoed, and the long sword, which could cut through iron like mud, heavily struck the stone tablet covered in scriptures. The sword and the heavenly scripture clashed, emitting a harsh grating sound. Li Huowang looked at his long sword, broken into many pieces. He was surprised. What the heck? The sword broke, the heavenly scripture is that hard. Looking at the broken sword in his hand, Li Huowang paused, then muttered, looks like this heavenly scripture is a treasure, might as well take it, if it's really useless, I can always pawn it for some money. The weapon in his hand was now useless. Li Huowang looked around, then quickly walked over to take the sword from the dead Changren. Fortunately, he still had a spare. Sheathing his long sword, Li Huowang stood at attention, bowed his head to the corpse of Changren, and whispered, senior brother Changren, you still have a sword, I'll take it too, rest in peace. Outside the door, a group of people were waiting for Li Huowang. One of them spoke, brother Li, can we leave yet? Li Huowang sighed and told the waiting people to leave that ghastly place. The group left one by one. Before departing, Li Huowang ordered someone to burn everything inside the foul-smelling stone cave. The raging red flame spread across the mountain. Once outside the cave, Li Huowang thought to himself, burned everything here, I wonder what kind of people and things I'll encounter next, I'm suddenly looking forward to it. Li Huowang was now leading the group. A voice called out from behind him, brother Li, wait a moment, my eyes hurt. Li Huowang turned around and saw Bai Lingmiao covering her eyes. In the sunlight, Bai Lingmiao's skin was pale, and deep within her eyes, he could see crimson blood vessels. Li Huowang observed her carefully and suspected, could she have albinism? Li Huowang cut a piece of cloth from his blue Taoist robe. Then he walked over and stood behind Bai Lingmiao. He gently lifted the cloth to cover her eyes. His hands tied the cloth tightly. He looked from behind her and said softly, later when you go out, use this cloth to cover your eyes. Bai Lingmiao heard that and replied, but like that I won't be able to see anything. Li Huowang gently took Bai Lingmiao's soft right hand and said, it's all right, I'll lead you. The group quickly entered the forest. From within, a voice called out, hey kid, finish up. The voice belonged to Lu Tu Kai, the youngest son of the Lu family theatrical troupe. From afar, he replied, almost done. In reality, he was enjoying a simple pleasure, a timely bowel movement. Hearing his father's urging, he felt a little annoyed. My father's really rushing me, just because I'm having a bowel movement. Suddenly, a strange sound came from behind him. He looked up towards the treetops and shouted, who's there? But the air remained unusually silent, and he saw no one. He looked around, a little panicked, muttering, ugh, I haven't even finished yet. Suddenly, a figure in a red flowered dress appeared behind him. It wasn't clear if it was a person, only a giggling sound was heard. Ghost, Lu Tu Kai screamed in terror. Before he could even pull up his pants, Lu Tu Kai ran back to his previous spot and threw himself into the arms of Lu Ju Ren, sobbing uncontrollably. Lu Ju Ren, the eldest son of the Lu family theatrical troupe, his face showing some fear, asked, Father, what do we do? La Guin Hoa, the eldest daughter-in-law of the Lu family theatrical troupe, sitting beside him, also spoke, Father, think of something. An elderly man, his white hair neatly tied up, his beard and eyebrows also white, this was the head of the Lu family theatrical troupe, Lu the top scholar. Lu the top scholar was equally terrified. He stammered, I don't know what to do, all we can do is. Overwhelmed by fear, Lu the top scholar no longer had the presence of mind to worry. Quickly prostrating himself and repeatedly kowtowing towards the forest without stopping, he pleaded, Spirit, grandfather, please spare our family, we are all poor people, just trying to make a living. A tinkling laugh suddenly rang out. Tell me, what does this resemble? Lu the top scholar saw, in a shadowy corner of the forest, a pair of small feet wearing intricately embroidered red shoes. In the darkness, it looked like a ghost floating in mid-air. Despite his wide knowledge, Lu the top scholar couldn't help but be terrified, silently thinking that he couldn't answer randomly. A wrong answer would bring ruin to his family. Lu the top scholar knelt down, clasped his hands, and replied, You resemble a god. Feeling he had answered incorrectly, he quickly corrected himself, No, not human, of course you're human. Seeing the other party remain silent, Lu the top scholar prostrated himself on the ground, his whole body trembling, thinking, Is that not right either? The giggling voice answered his thoughts, Not a house. Nearby, Li Huowang's group was also approaching. Goa, one hand covering his nose, the other leaning against a tree, said, Brother, I told you, following that turd would definitely lead us to someone. It's still warm, after all. A tall man in the group scoffed, Disgusting. Goa, you're such a fool, you know how disgusting it is, and yet you still leaned in. Do you want to eat it? Noticing something unusual ahead, Li Huowang spoke. Wait. His eyes, alert and cold, looked forward, then he reached behind him to draw his long sword. The people behind Li Huowang also saw it. Goa exclaimed in surprise, Wow, Li Shixiang, look at that thing, it has faces on both the front and back, but no neck. Before them now stood a giant figure, with faces covered by red cloths on both the front and back. It wore a bright red robe, intricately embroidered. Lu Tu Kai, still terrified, sobbed, Father, look behind. Another demon. Lu Tu Kai trembled, watching the approaching group. Goa, hearing himself called a demon, clenched his fists, angrily saying, That white but called who a demon, does it want a beating? Li Huowang stood before the group, raising a hand to restrain Goa's aggressive stance. He said, You wait here first. The giant figure giggled gleefully, More people have arrived. Li Huowang looked at the giant figure in the red robe before him and asked, What are you? It was the same giggling laugh, but there was a change in its tone. It opened its mouth, revealing sharp teeth, perhaps because it had been ignored too many times. It was a little irritated. I am a human, don't I look like one? Li Huowang couldn't stand the voice anymore. He yelled, Human, my ass. He thought to himself, No matter what it is, it's better to strike first. Immediately, he drew his long sword from his back, spun, leaped into the air, and attacked the demon in the red robe. The demon in the red robe dodged Li Huowang's sword with agility. Li Huowang snorted softly, thinking, Physical attacks are ineffective, let's try this. Li Huowang certainly wouldn't sit idly by and wait to die. He quickly reached to his left hip, and a second later, a small golden bell appeared in his hand. Li Huowang shook the bell, its sharp, ringing sound echoing. The demon's face showed a slight change. Li Huowang stared at it, thinking, The bronze bell is effective against it. Realizing this, Li Huowang had no intention of stopping. Instead, he shook the bell vigorously. Everything around him was becoming distorted and swaying violently, and the demon was also transforming. The embroidered red robe began to tear, and wisps of black smoke billowed from within. Li Huowang's bell was effective against the demon. Suddenly, the demon let out a loud cry, its failing body violently shaking as it retreated into the forest, soon disappearing completely from Li Huowang's sight. Lu the top scholar, moved to tears, quickly went forward, clasping his hands in fervent gratitude. Master, thank you for your help. My family has nothing of value. He trailed off, as if searching for a way to express his gratitude. Lu the top scholar pulled out a tobacco pipe, considered a valuable possession, and offered it to Li Huowang. This pipe can lift the spirits, I offer it to you as a token of my respect. Li Huowang raised his hand to refuse. Thank you, old sir, I don't smoke. He asked, Do you know what that thing was that we just encountered? Lu the top scholar looked at Li Huowang in bewilderment. Young Taoist, don't you know? Didn't you drive it away? Li Huowang stood there, arms crossed, nodded, and continued. Then, old sir, do you have a map of this place? He sighed, closed his eyes, and continued, we're not locals, we're a little lost in this forest. Lu the top scholar replied, I don't have a map, but my family frequently travels around here, I know this area very well. Young Taoist, where are you going? If it's on the way, we could travel together. Lu Zhuyuan thought to himself, this Taoist seems capable, that thing seemed to be attached to my family, traveling together might ensure our safety. The surrounding sky was dark, with only small fires providing light. Li Huowang, with bags and various items slung over his shoulder, his hair falling over his face, looked incredibly charming. He glanced at Bai Lingmiao's group and said, I have quite a few places to go, but I brought this junior disciple out, and I must take them home. And there are many others who can't return, I need to deliver letters to their families. The old man with white hair pondered for a moment, is that so? After a while of drawing, writing, he spoke up, little Taoist, look at this. Old man, I've drawn a rough sketch. Huowang looked over it, nodded thoughtfully, and asked, where are we? Hearing the question, the old man replied, this is Ho Shu, below Ho Shu is Si Chi, to the left of Si Chi is our Nam Bin. Currently, we're on our way to Wu Li Tsang. From Wu Li Tsang, going straight ahead will lead to Jianya Town. From Jianya Town, we'll reach 11 Jing. After listening for a while, he unconsciously thought, this world is somewhat similar to the 5 dynasties and 10 kingdoms period, there's no unified country or central government. After pondering for a moment, he continued to ask, excuse me, old man, how would one get to Liang? The old man, puffing on his pipe, fell silent for a moment after hearing this, exhaled a puff of white smoke, and asked Huowang, young Taoist, you want to go to Liang? It's far away, not to mention they fought with our Nam Bin 2 years ago. Hearing this, everyone fell silent. Lingmiao was even more worried, her appearance showed her fear. Suddenly, a skewer of grilled meat was presented before her, accompanied by the words, don't panic. Turning, she realized it was from Huowang. Seeing her looking at him, he added, I'll take you home. At this moment, the old man continued, young Taoist, if you want to go to Liang, you'll have to pass through Jianya Town. We can travel together for this part of the journey, why don't we group up? Hearing this, a young girl nearby exclaimed, Li Shixiang, my home is in Jianya Town. There's an escort agency in Jianya Town, Li Shixiang just needs to give them some silver, and they can deliver the letter for you. Huowang pondered the name Jianya Town, huh. Then he slapped his thigh and said, definitely, alright then, old man. Let's group up and go to Jianya Town, we'll rely on you to guide us along the way. The old man laughed heartily, young Taoist, you're too polite, it's simple enough. As they were chatting merrily, deep within the dense forest. It was pitch black, as if someone was watching them, a terrifying smile, hee. No one knew how long it had been, but now the sky was bright, the horse carriage rattled along the road. Huowang casually asked, old man's theatrical troupe. How's business here? The old man only sighed, Haze, times are tough. Nam Bin has suffered drought followed by floods, even getting enough to eat is a problem for the common people. The common people don't have money, so they give even less for watching plays. Hearing this, Huowang doubtfully asked, then are there no rich people, like wealthy landowners? The old man puffed on his pipe and exhaled, rich people, huh. Even rich people only hire a troupe for funerals, they just want a feast, truly unfilial. As they passed a vast field, countless people were working, old and young, men and women alike. A large boy carried a frail young girl on his shoulders, passing by some children, he laughed, his face ferocious. Wah! The children started crying, some screaming ghost, others weeping, hoo, mother. Then they ran off together, the boy watched, puzzled, the old man sighed, Haze, those of us who perform plays don't have the same capabilities as the young Taoist. The young Taoist is already so capable at such a young age, his future achievements are immeasurable. Huowang only laughed and scratched his head, not at all. After a moment of silence, he continued, excuse me, old man, does Nam Bin have any famous schools, the kind with unique skills? Then, after a moment of contemplation, he added, for example, like me. The old man was silent, his gaze fixed on the distance. Unique skills, yes, in 11 Jing City, there's a school whose prayers for children are very effective. What's its name again? If the young Taoist arrives in 11 Jing, you'll find out along the way. At this time, a young man spoke cheerfully, Father, look ahead. We've reached Wulitsang. The old man and Huowang both looked in that direction, one walked, the other rode, and they continued on. Suddenly, the old man suggested, Young Taoist, let's find an open space near the village gate to perform. All right. Upon arriving at their destination, the old man cheerfully said, Lu Jia's traveling troupe, let's set up the stage. After a while, Huowang lay on a pile of high straw, gazing at the sky and pondering, 11 Jing, I don't know what the school in 11 Jing will be like. Praying for children isn't illogical, however, if they dare to be located in a large town, it probably won't be an evil cult. As he was lost in thought, a stalk of rice suddenly waved in front of Huowang's face. He quickly sat up and recognized it as Bai Lingmiao. He asked in surprise, Bai junior disciple, why did you take off your blindfold? It's not even dark yet. Lingmiao giggled. He, she didn't answer his question, playing with the stalk of rice and saying, Li Shixiang, look at this bronze mirror, the theater troupe uses this to put on makeup, it gives a very clear reflection. As she spoke, she held the bronze mirror in front of Huowang. He glanced at it and said, oh, it really is quite clear. Suddenly, he exclaimed, wait, causing Lingmiao to jump in fright. He touched his face and asked, Bai junior disciple, did I look like this in Qingfeng Guan? Despite her fright, she calmly replied, yes, Shixiang always looked like this. What's wrong, Shixiang? Is there something wrong with your reflection? He quickly replied, no, nothing. But in his heart, countless thoughts surged. I look like this in this world. Back at the hospital, I was a high school student. Why do I look so much older here? No, this won't do. His head was a jumbled mess, his memories fragmented. My life is like a joke. A long time passed, no one knew how long. The stage was ready, the villagers had gathered, and the play began. A man in a hat, holding a sword, stroking his long beard, shouted, he. Next to him was a girl with her hair tied in 2 pigtails, holding a newborn baby in her arms, kneeling on the ground crying miserably, hoo, the evil uncle chased me away. Like a lonely bird flying alone, like the grass by the roadside letting people trample on it. Then she used her hand to lightly pinch the child and said, mother and child depend on each other to live. It's really difficult, we can only eat by the roadside. At this moment, the baby burst into loud cries, hoo. Everyone in the audience applauded in unison. Excellent. Huowang stood aside, looking up and thinking to himself, so this is how a traveling troupe performs, making money is hard work. Suddenly, the old man in costume looked down from the stage, oh, young Taoist master. Then he quickly ran down to where Huowang was standing, excitedly saying, my lord, young Taoist master, you've arrived just in time. Huowang asked, what's the matter? The old man clasped his hands and replied cautiously, my business has encountered a small problem, could I trouble you to help with something? Huowang said in bewilderment, troop leader, I don't know how to sing opera, I'm afraid I can't help you. The old man waved his hand and continued, no, you don't need to sing opera, young Taoist master, this is something you can help with. In this woolly gang, there's a wealthy family. Old master Hu of the Hu family just sent someone to ask me backstage to perform a ghost opera at his house. Hearing ghost opera, Huowang shouted, ghost opera, he wants you to sing to summon ghosts. He shouted so loudly that the old man jumped, oh my god, no such thing. This ghost opera is actually performed in the ancestral hall in front of the ancestral tablets, there's nothing wrong with it. Hearing this, Huowang asked in confusion, if that's all, what's the problem with this business, why doesn't the troop leader do it himself? Seeing Huowang pondering, the old man hurriedly continued, because I'm scared, this is the first time I'm performing a ghost opera, and I'm a little nervous, so I want to ask you, a master, to sit beside me for support. Hearing this, he resolutely turned away. Troop leader, I'm sorry, I can't help with this. He thought to himself, I usually avoid these things, how could I possibly join in the fun? In a small corner of the town, a childish voice rang out, Lingmiao's, Li Shixiang, we don't have much food left, even if we eat sparingly, it'll only last 3 days. Huowang replied thoughtfully, not enough money, I still have a jade pendant that can be exchanged for money. Lingmiao said hesitantly, Li Shixiang, this village doesn't have a pawn shop, even if we want to exchange money, we can't find anyone in the village. Huowang worried, is that so? At this moment, the old man ran up, young Taoist master, young Taoist master. He turned to the old man, troop leader. The old man bowed his head, panting, but still said, please reconsider, old master, who is very generous. Hearing about making money, Huo Wang asked how much the other party would pay. The old man happily raised 10 fingers, 10 silver niangs, old master, who will pay 10 silver niangs. If you accept, young Taoist master, we'll split it 50-50, that's 5,000 cash, my young Taoist master. Hearing this, Ling Miao was startled, as if the amount was enormous. Huo Wang, however, was thinking about 5,000 cash. How much food could that buy? Seeing him silent, the old man continued, 60/40ths, you get 60%, I get 40%, young Taoist master, please, it's not easy to earn this much money these days. Huo Wang was silent for a moment. He touched something at his waist and asked, troop leader, is there a blacksmith in this village? What, a blacksmith? Huo Wang took down a bell hanging from his waist and showed it. I accept the job, but I need to find a blacksmith to repair this bell first. Outside, the sky was clear and white clouds drifted lazily, but inside the blacksmith's forge, a dark gloom prevailed. Wu Ligong, sweat dripping from his soot-stained face, his muscles bulging as he tirelessly swung his hammer by the furnace. Each strike produced a familiar clang. As he struck, sparks flew, and he asked with a puzzled expression, what, you can't smash it, you can't melt it, and you want me to repair this bell, are you sick? He shook the half-dented bell, his expression indifferent, emotionless, asking, how, is there a way? He scratched his head, his face hesitant, then closed his eyes in tacit agreement. Ah, what day? Not giving him time to answer, he waved his hand, you come here and hold it. After speaking, they both went to work. He held the bell tightly, and the blacksmith, without a moment's rest, used pliers to stretch the bell back into shape, but despite their best efforts, their faces contorted. Gripping the pliers tightly, the blacksmith gritted his teeth and asked, kid, are you holding back? I'm not holding back either, he replied, I'm using all my strength. After trying for a while with no change, they gave up. Sitting down, panting from exhaustion, an old man with a long white beard, the troop leader of a local opera company, approached, raising his hand as if to place it on Huo Wang's shoulder, but for some reason he stopped his hand in mid-air and asked, young Taoist friend. The blacksmith glanced at Huo Wang and asked in wonder, damn it, it's strange, what kind of metal is this thing made of, why is it so hard? Stroking his beard, the old man said, young Taoist master, I remember that last time you took out this treasure, it was squeezed but its use was unaffected. Or should we go to the ancestral hall first, old master who must be impatiently waiting? He still refused to give up. Standing up, a beautiful red jade in his hand, he firmly said, I'll try again alone. Hearing this, the blacksmith's voice showed contempt. Kid, the two of us couldn't fix it, and you think you can alone. Mid-sentence, he turned to look at Huo Wang, his eyes wide with astonishment. Oh my God, this is amazing. He levitated in the air, his whole body emitting red energy, even his eye color changed. He gently repaired the bell with his hand, returning it to its original shape. With the naked eye, no dent could be seen. The old man placed his hand on the blacksmith's shoulder, reassuring him, I told you, the young Taoist master's abilities are extraordinary. What do you think? The blacksmith was still in shock, tacitly admitting, this time old master who has invited a true master. He stood on a rocky outcrop at the foot of the mountain, beside a clear blue lake. Above him, a winding mountain path was formed by stones arranged as steps, surrounded by lush trees. Holding the repaired bell, he thought to himself, before going to the ancestral hall, I must test this bell first. It looks repaired. Next, I just need to try the way the head catcher did it. Shaking the bell first, he gently shook it, and the bell seemed to respond, becoming bright and pure. Emitting a brilliant glow, the water by the lake surged violently and then flew into the air, along with a Yu Lao Yi in the form of a huge but rather ugly fish. It had perfectly aligned white teeth, but only 2 eye sockets. Seeing this scene, he could not help but be happy. It worked. Success. Although he only summoned one Yu Lao Jia, the next step was like chasing a fleeing criminal. He grabbed a handful of dirt and stuffed it into his mouth. He chewed it noisily. He looked up at the Yu Lao Jia and asked, can you understand me? It replied, I can understand. He continued, can I control you? His cheeks were puffed out from chewing the dirt, his face swollen as if someone had punched him. he thought, why is your voice so distorted? It immediately replied, 3 months of lifespan for the exchange. He replied unhappily, a little less, it's too expensive. It repeated its previous statement, 3 months of lifespan for the exchange. Unable to reach an agreement, he spat out the dirt, and the image of the eulogia instantly vanished into nothingness. He coughed violently, sighed, and thought, using a eulogia once cost me 3 months of lifespan, and they wouldn't even give a discount. I'll have to use them sparingly in the future. The crescent moon hung high, the surrounding scenery shrouded in darkness. At the Hu family's ancestral hall, guests chatted lively, and servants bustled about. The troop leader, who had been waiting at the door for a long time, gestured to guide him inside, greeting him, "Oh, young master, you're finally here. This way, this way." He walked towards the door, the bell attached to his waist. He calmly asked, "How are your preparations?" He respectfully replied, "Master Hu has already explained, last year, he also invited another troop, and nothing happened, young master, don't worry." As he walked, he observed the surroundings and nodded, "Oh, all right." After a while, he excitedly introduced, "Young master, look, this is him." Then, smiling, he introduced him to Master Hu. "This is the young master I mentioned, with him here, there will be no mistakes." Master Hu, a wealthy local in Wuligang, was a plump man with a wrinkled face and high-quality clothing. His wealth was evident. Seeing them smile, he said, "Oh, you two have worked hard tonight." Master Hu, like a proper host, stood at the doorway, hands behind his back, asking, "But, troop leader, I remember your troop has women." He stroked his beard and respectfully replied, "Master Hu, rest assured, the women are all preparing outside, they won't break the rules here." Hearing this, he narrowed his eyes with the calculating smile of a businessman, continuing, "In that case, troop leader, after the ancestors come to watch the play, those who invited the troop like us must leave. We still have to rely on you to take care of the ancestral hall. As for the play, choose something cheerful. The ancestors said in their dreams that the underworld is too quiet and lonely, and they want to see something fun." He opened his hands to receive the instruction. "Yes, Master Hu." Receiving the satisfactory answer, Master Hu added, "Also, when the play begins, the living cannot speak to the actors, to avoid disturbing the ancestors." He assured Master Hu, "Rest assured, we absolutely won't break the rules." He stood silently beside the troop leader. He glanced around, assessing the situation. It didn't look like anything would happen. He hoped everything would go smoothly. Inside the ancestral hall, the play began. The troop leader controlled the music from behind a screen. On stage, a middle-aged man with a long dao, his face half hidden by a long robe but heavily made up, making him unrecognizable, performed with a young apprentice carrying a long sword, his youthful face topped with 2 topknots. The song began, urging the emperor to drink and listen to the singer, helping him alleviate his sorrow. A wicked emperor and suffering people, a hero from the south to save the world. Since ancient times only the suffering of the people to achieve success, 10,000 bones of suffering. He stood guard outside the door. Looking inside, the Hu family's ancestral tablet was in the center. The 2 actors performed non-stop to the song. He mused, "The stage is lively, but the audience is silent, it's quite eerie." However, the song was quite interesting after listening for a while, but no matter how good the song is, listening to it all night will still make one sleepy. He scratched his head, yawning repeatedly, his eyes drooping. He tried to fight off sleepiness. He felt he'd become unusually sleepy since arriving. "Without getting paid for working, I can't sleep." Suddenly he woke up, his eyes shining as if he had discovered something unusual. "No, that's not right." "What?" The singing abruptly stopped. He turned, looked inside and called loudly, "Troop leader, why did you suddenly stop singing?" Receiving no reply, he opened the door and went inside, witnessing a terrifying sight. Blood red covered the ancestral hall. A white cat, 10 times larger than a normal cat, with red eyes, bared its teeth and grinned. Good reward. He didn't recognize it. It's that kind of monster again. The troop leader and 2 others trembled in fear in a corner, gold coins flying in the air. The child cried in fear. The father was scared, but fearing discovery, he suppressed his fear, covering his and the child's mouths. It had a cat-like face, but no fixed body, surrounded by red energy. Grinning gleefully, it approached the 3 hiding people, its voice deep. "Good." It ordered the 3 to continue singing as a reward. He still hadn't seen the 3 inside. standing outside, he shouted, "Troop leader, couldn't the play be stopped tonight?" Hearing his voice, he stammered, "Little Taoist, this." He said more than, "Why are you still standing there? Don't stop, continue singing, the patron has rewarded you." Hearing that, the old man hurriedly entered, a gloomy atmosphere enveloped the room, the entire space was a vibrant crimson, the patron looked displeased at the group. Li Huowang stood, hands resting on his sword, his face stern as he ordered the troop leader, "Don't stop, continue singing, the patron has rewarded you." The aged troop leader looked up at him, then nodded to the other two. "Yes, young master, we'll sing immediately," they replied. The singing resumed, a bright morning moon rises, remembering my old mother on the high road. While they performed, he quietly sat down on a nearby chair, legs crossed, attentively observing the situation. This thing came but didn't attack, what does it want? It even clapped in time, this thing surely didn't come to the opera house just to listen to a play, did it? The singing continued, together with the young man, as if, at that moment, he noticed something unusual, fog appeared and spread, causing the child singing to be terrified, his whole body trembling, tears welling up but still forcing himself to continue, as if by the lake. Seeing its terrifying appearance, the child could no longer hold back, tears and snot streamed down his face. The other two could not continue either. It approached the boy, and took a bright red candle from the boy's body, slowly putting it in its mouth and chewing it noisily. At that moment, its mouth seemed to contain hundreds of thousands of ferocious eyes being devoured. Seeing this, the boy stopped crying and stood frozen in place. Seeing his chance, he stopped watching the drama and drew his sword, snatching the half-eaten candle from its hand. Li Huowang saw the candle on his sword beginning to melt. His voice was cold, "If you don't have the same morbid fascination as humans, then I guess what you're eating isn't the candle, but the fear generated in people's hearts." His whole body levitated, sparks crackling around him, the spirit tablets simultaneously flew up, surrounding the entire room. He looked at its angry face. His sword still pointed at it, continuing, "You're angry, aren't you? That proves I was right." He then ordered, "Troop leader, don't stop. If the strong wind bothers your eyes, close them and sing." The three, though still terrified, said nothing, gritting their teeth and singing. The moon and stars have shifted, past the second watch. Restless sitting, restless lying, the Huinkok district has never abandoned its people. Summoned me with a golden tablet. Why, it enjoyed listening to the song, smiling and asking, he, tell me, do I look like a human or a god? Then it opened its mouth in a wide, ear-to-ear grin, its eyes glowing red like a demon's, raising a huge hand with long, sharp nails to grab him. Li Huowang was faster, dodging the attack, swinging his sword at it. He answered, "I think you resemble a demon." The sword sliced through it, but it slowly healed, returning to its original form. It bared its teeth, its expression defiant, "What can you do to me?